Yep. No, I mean, you don't have to be nice, but just don't admit to any crimes because now there's,
Ooh,
we
now
have.
I'm gonna have to refrain.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Any crimes out of game. In game, we're going to commit
Okay.
as many crimes as we
We can
can.
just act like that. Oh, it was in the game. It was just
Yeah, it was in the game. It was in the game.
That's right.
I totally committed insurance fraud in after the
in the
raid.
game.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was not
Right.
hypothetical at all.
Oh my god. I need that as a t-shirt. I committed insurance fraud in after the rain. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come up with a beeping email sound. We are going to come up with what we call a goal. That's going to be the thing that sort of binds all of us together, right? So essentially what this is this is a role-playing game where our characters have something that we all desperately want. And it's something that we kind of all share. So even though we're all going to be vastly different characters, we all kind of are united by the same goal. And that's literally what we call it. We call it the goal. Yeah, the goal in air quotes. This could be something super, super vague. This can be, for example, like one of the games that we played was people just wanted revenge. Everyone was just like a bandit. And we were like, you know what? We're all like a bunch of Wild West gunslingers. There's one bandit that we couldn't ever get a chance to like find and like actually bring her down. But because it's been pouring, she's stuck in one place. So we have like 24 hours to get there because we know she's going to be there. Right.
Yeah.
So our goal is always going to be a little bit not like malleable, but it is going to be something that's useful. So if you have your handy After the Rain books, which I hope that you all do, I would like to point out that I'm using the like very, very early pre-production ones. So I don't even have a table of contents, which I think is really funny.
Oh, I do.
I do.
Yes, I know you. Oh, you guys do. You guys have the
Very
nice
fancy.
one. Yes, you guys have the nice one. But it should be around page 20 is going to be our section called The Goal.
Oh, yes. There
It's
it is.
page 23.
Okay. Already wrong at my own game. I love
Yep.
it. So for example, there's a couple different ones that they have in here. So like get the money is a goal. So that could make us bank robbers. This could make us tomb raiders. In one instance, I think everybody was a really disgruntled like farmers market employee. There's like just one store.
So many ideas.
Literally, it's like everyone's a disgruntled farmers market employee. They wanted to rob like a pottery barn. I don't know why. I didn't run that one. I want to point that out. I did not run that one. There's also a dreaded rival, which is just like an individual or a character that we all desperately want to get rid of. Solve the mystery. So that one, if we want to do like detectives, for example, we could all be part of a local community that's like trying to solve a mystery of some kind, whether it's tracking down a serial killer, or trying to figure out what happened to a missing town member. And then we have escape. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Got to get out of the place. Survive, also pretty self-explanatory. Make it through the day.
Oh my God, that's great.
Is essential.
That is the motto of my life.
That
Make
is.
it through the day.
Sounds like we've picked the goal.
Can you tell that this game was made in 2019? That survive
100%.
became
The day
the
becomes a goal.
I lost my sanity and I lost all day McDonald's breakfast all in 1 year, man. It was a rough time.
Bad year.
It was a rough time. And then retrieve the object, which is basically very much like get the money, but we're focused on a singular thing. So like the classic example for retrieve the object is like Raiders of the Lost Ark. That whole movie is retrieve the object. Or don't retrieve the object, or at least don't open the object. So it's up to you guys which kind of one we want to do. So that's the cool part about this is that we actually have this conversation first before the game even begins.
Okay.
So that way everyone's kind of aware of what sort of story that we are doing. Just the one. So if there's one that like grabs you and interests you, speak now or forever hold your. Actually, don't forever hold your peace. I know no one's going to hold their peace here. No, this is not the hold your peace group.
No. I am always a fan of a good mystery. Escape or survive are my top three.
All right, I like those.
Mystery, escape, survive. Which one do you think?
I like a mystery too, I'd say.
I think we'd say solve. Yeah, we go with mystery.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm also kind of on a solve the. I was thinking, I was like, man, I haven't done solve the mystery in a while, so I think this would be the last time I did it was with superheroes. So I think we're gonna go with that.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So our goal then becomes solve the mystery. Oh, speaking of the mystery,
Is he doing it?
he's here.
Yay!
The mystery has arrived.
The mystery is
Oh,
here. We've solved it. That's it, everyone. Thanks for joining us for After the Rain. We did it.
That
We
was
solved
easy.
the mystery. We found
All
Colin.
right.
Woo! Great seeing y'all. It was awesome.
Hey, Colin.
Hello, friends.
Hey. How's
How
it
is
going?
everybody? Good. Sorry, I'm late.
Well, we took the goal without you. You just got you along for the ride now.
Yep.
That's beautiful. I love it.
So this is the mystery. So Colin, our goal is going to be solve the mystery, which is
All
not
right.
one that you and I have had a chance to do together, which I'm kind of excited about.
I'm down.
So for a setting, this is something that I as the game master get to do. Just hear me out. All right, hear me out, which is famous last word.
no.
Hear me out.
Oh,
Famous
Oh
last
God, here
word.
we go.
We can do a solve. I want us to solve a murder of some kind.
Okay.
I want to do like a serial killer thing, but can we set it in like medieval times when we don't have like DNA technology and
Oh
like,
my God. Yes. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Way better. Way
yeah,
better.
I want to do like Sherwood PI or something like that.
Yes.
Sure.
That's so much better.
All right, awesome. So that covers our setting, which is super nice. So very, very good job there, everyone. And now comes not the hardest part, but like the easiest part, because this is the making of the characters. So you're gonna need 3 6-sided dice, or if you're like me and your 6-sided dice are all packed into individual game boxes, you can just look up a dice roller on your computer, because that's what I always do.
Okay.
Oh, come
Um,
on. What kind of game would it be if you didn't have dice?
Right. You're gonna need at least 1 dice. So
You can just type, even you don't even have to go to I think Google has like a built-in dice roller. If you just type roll 3d6 into Google, it will roll 3d6 for you.
You're gonna need to roll 4 6-sided dice.
Right,
But
as
yes,
an example. Yeah.
That is, but you're right. I always use the Wizards of the Coast one because it's free. But that's also just
Google is also
dungeon. I'm also dungeon. I know. It's just I'm
I
dungeon.
know.
I know.
We're
It's like
all
a
Whipping
life-
out the dice tower.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Let me get my
Ooh,
dice
you're
tower.
cooler, Miranda.
How did she have a dice tower?
Because I'm a big nerd.
You outdone me. I had a bag of like random
oh,
things.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had a
yeah.
bag of dice. Like,
Oh, look
We
at
random
that.
offered
things.
you dice
Nice.
tower instead of
He's
a
got
dice
one
set.
too. How come I put a dice tower except ours?
Mine's at
Can you show that
at the
again,
house.
Miranda? Come here, Shannon. Show your dice tower again. Shannon wants to know what it is. Look at
Like a
it's
little-
almost
Very-
just for you.
It
Yeah.
actually does this.
Oh, the top.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. It's
I-
so cool.
I feel like
It
I
has a-
have to. I feel
Has
like I
a
have to. use
fancy
this.
bag.
Look at this.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, that should come with the game. I'm just saying. I would have paid a good extra
That-
$20 to
That
get a dice
it,
tower.
it would probably have cost an extra $20. I don't know how we'd have to. That's a different exploration into
This was
manufacturing.
a little more expensive than $20.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how expensive this one was. I have to use this though. So our graphic designer for After the Rain actually got me this. This was a Christmas gift from her.
Awesome.
So I have to use it at least for the first one. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna roll these 4 6-sided dice.
What if I already did this part?
Then you are so awesome. Then I'm
Okay.
hoping, well, hopefully you've already got your stuff kind of picked out.
I sort of do, but you changed up my theme a little bit, so I'm going to change my wording
Right.
a little bit.
And that's kind of where I thought we would be anyway, just to have those stats. So for example, I rolled a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 1. This is where we are going to go ahead and we're going to try to make our characters. So in After the Rain, we don't have character stats. So there is no strength, there is no intelligence. There is intelligence somewhere. I'm just assuming it's not going to be with me.
That's what I was thinking. Like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. I am not the smart one in this group. I am here to look pretty, kind of. And so essentially what it is these facets are like the 3 core features of your character, right? So if you think about them as a person, these are events, these are moments, these are memories, these are people that really kind of make them who they are. So for example, and also, I'm sorry, the higher the value of the die that you put for each facet, the more important that facet is to your character. So for example, if I put my 6 for profession, that means I eat, sleep, and breathe my profession, right? Like it is like when we talk about someone who is married to their career, a 6 is probably somebody who's married to their career, right? So the higher the die value, the more important it is. The lower the die value, the less important it is, and the more likely that part of your character is going to be erased. So I'm not going to go over all the facets. You guys have access to those in the wonderful page that's marked facets. I know, it's beautiful. But just keep in mind that you want to keep these tied to sort of our medieval setting. So if you say, you know, if my profession of 6 as an Uber driver is a thing, it's not going to work quite as well. Although I don't know, maybe I run a for rent carriage service.
It probably was a thing.
I'm sure that was a thing.
We're gonna have a car chase in a bunch of
You can
carriages.
carry them, you know, you have to 4 people though. You're 4 Uber drivers, right? So
Yeah.
they have to carry the person up those little.
You have to flicker a lantern. That's how you like hail the Uber driver.
3 clicks.
3 clicks.
We don't want professionals, ours.
No, we don't think professions are most important facet. Maybe a trusted companion, we would think is important.
All right, and I am going to do this just so we've got the.
I'm thinking this is me so far. We'll see.
Oh, she is so fancy.
Oh, are you doing a plague doctor?
I was gonna go with physician, so I'm thinking plague doctor might be appropriate.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to just share my screen so everybody can see, and then basically as time is going to go on, that way you'll have access to the characters. And actually, you know what I will do? Let's do this. I'm going to make a Google Doc because I am smart.
Fancy.
So fancy.
And then I will just share the Google Doc with everybody, but I won't record making it so we don't leak emails to people. Whoa. It's almost like I've done this before.
I think we want vengeance and then maybe the trusted.
We got 2 6s, a 4, and a 1. Ooh, a traumatic past.
I had a 5 3 3 3.
You know what?
I had a
I am
5,
going to
3,
make my
2, 2.
profession Uber driver.
Something they want to protect.
In medieval times.
In medieval, I'm going to be a carriage driver, profession carriage driver.
Ooh, a loss.
I think
That's
you might-
unlike the traumatic past. Why would person? Ooh, a loss.
All right, now I'm gonna have to rethink because before I was gonna be a doctor and I was after the man. Because-
I mean, we could still call him the man if we don't know who the serial killer is.
No, we're okay, I don't know my history, so Kyle, help me out here. Were gladiators during medieval times, or was that completely the wrong period of time?
It is the wrong time in terms of a gladiator, like a Roman gladiator, but there has been illegal pit fighting and illegal prize fighting as long as there have been humans.
It's true.
So literally anywhere. It's crazy, but there's like old historical, we have old historical illuminated manuscripts from like a Russian monastery describing how you could be excommunicated if you were caught boxing. And so literally a black market of like Russian Eastern Orthodox boxers springs up in the Middle Ages. No joke.
I was thinking lost. I'm like, maybe we lost a gladiator and but not a gladiator, but maybe we lost someone in a pit fight. Some
Yeah.
people have lost.
Yeah, literally there have been
Like
since 2 cavemen picked up a club and people were like, I kind of like watching this. There have been those. So
that is true. That is true.
All right.
So should we like be writing down our 3 that we pick?
yes. So as a sidebar,
4. And we're picking 4 things or 3, did you say?
so you're gonna pick 3. So you get to pick 3 of those 4 dice to use.
Oh, okay, so we can do whatever we want. Okay.
Yep.
I'm
You've
still
got
gonna be after the man. It's
After the
still
man.
gonna happen.
So you've got some flexibility in terms of like what you want.
I mean, maybe the 1 because do we want to lose our grief or no? Oh no, it might be a breaking point. Put it at the higher one.
A 6. We lost and we're putting it to 6. Okay. So
Yeah.
plus
All right, and I'm gonna go ahead.
6. Okay.
Oh my gosh, look at this. A player who lost their pet parakeet would have a loss set at 1.
Yep.
Lost their child in a car accident would be a 6. So we lost our child in a car.
We lost something bad.
We lost someone big.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, there's some funny examples in there.
Oh my god. Yeah, the pet parakeet. I geeked.
Yeah, those were pretty funny. I liked them.
Yeah, I want to like read the whole book now.
It's good. You should.
I want to point out, Aunt Kathy, you did get a shout out in the rules.
Oh,
What page? What page?
I don't remember. I did not read the whole thing, but I did read certain sections.
Where is it? Oh, so
Interesting.
if you look under charge,
Yeah.
a character who so and you're not my great aunt, but it's a character who protects their favorite great aunt might have a charge, Auntie K. Set at 1. Yeah, that was a reference to you. So
Oh, I'm
Nice.
totally
I
gonna
am
underline it. I have an
obsessed.
orange marker and I'm underlining that right now.
yeah, that was yeah, I threw you the shout out there. That was
Nice.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. All right, let's make it. We gotta make it charge something.
So yeah,
now.
we got to charge.
we have a little inside baseball going on right now.
We want that to be a six
Time,
also?
time to save that
Alright.
auntie.
Okay, I'm gonna charge. Whoops, where's my marker?
All right.
And then maybe the other, I think, should be the friend. I think we need a
Colin,
friend.
how we doing on character creation? How we feeling?
I mean, I've got my guy. I'm good.
You're good. All right, let me just pull up the Google. I'm gonna share this Google Doc with everybody so you've got it. I just don't want to record me sharing the sharing of the Google Doc.
Sure.
Sure.
Just I don't want to like leak anyone's emails.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, accidentally doxing somebody in the middle of a playthrough does not sound like a great way to do things for your
Not a
first
good-
playthrough.
I don't think Miranda's gonna hack our emails.
You
Oh,
know,
I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
she is.
100%.
She's vicious.
Clearly don't know me.
100%. You clearly don't understand the level of insurance fraud I'm ready to commit.
I think she's hardcore.
These two did it. We're all insurance. It turns out that the whole medieval thing was in our heads. We've all been insurance fraud the whole time.
Maybe the insurance fraud was the friends we made along the way.
Sounds right. Okay, now I'm sharing my screen so everybody can kind of see this. You've all got access to this in your Google as well. So that way you can kind of see it, but I'm just so you guys are like aware of how a character creation would work. So I would choose, like, we'll say my character's name is Roland. I don't know if that's going to be his name. And then my first one is profession, which I'm going to set at a 4. And then in parentheses, I kind of clarify, expound a little bit on what that profession is, which is, in my case,
We have to like say who we lost.
carriage driver.
Oh, I need a name.
So we need to be like, oh, we lost someone, like
So-
Medusa, like you said, someone important to us.
Our dad.
Because it's a 6.
Yep.
Our dad in a fight.
Yep. And
In
you
the
can,
brawl, right?
you all have editing access too. So feel free to drop your characters in there.
Oh, do you want to go to
Oh.
the screen and
Yep.
write things?
Oh, I need a
Be shared with your
name.
email.
Do I have to go to my email to get that link for that?
It is in Gmail. Yep.
Okay.
We used to do this on a Word document that I would just keep shared on the screen, and I would just do the Kermit the Frog thing where it just slams the keyboard a bunch of times and stuff appears.
You're,
But this, yeah, this seems a little easier.
There it is after the rain play.
Let me think of a name.
Oh, there we
And then
go.
you could add your person.
Too.
All right, name over here.
So if you are interested in an awesome and a bunch of really cool medieval names, Miranda, there are a couple in the back of the app.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't see that.
There's a couple sample adventures or a couple sample like campaigns that you could
Oh yeah, I
potentially-
didn't want to read through them because I didn't want to spoil anything.
Oh no, they're not, there's no spoilers there. They're just fun ones that you can use. So like,
I see this.
and
yeah.
I went through and purposely researched. They're all women as well, by the way.
Thank you.
So they're all like very old, like early Anglo-Saxon or like Norman names.
Nice.
Kyle, can
Nice.
you can
What's up, Colin?
you accept my request for access to the Google Doc?
Sure.
What should our name be, Anna?
What?
Do you have any good
I can
names?
accept.
Winifred.
Winifred.
I think Shannon's showering, so I guess we do have more
Okay.
time.
Oh, that's good. They were gonna have to leave, but now Shannon's taking a shower.
Yeah,
So
taking a
Anna's
shower.
There
good.
you go.
Stay.
We got
Stay.
time.
All right, Anna.
All right.
Okay.
No, it should have.
Well, this happened last time because you sent it to my Comcast thing, but
Oh,
my Comcast isn't
That's
linked
right.
to my Gmail.
That
I know.
So
you changed that.
GWENDO.
That's my problem. I am the one who's failed here.
No, you good, you good. I can either, yeah, you could either accept whatever. I don't know how this sends to you.
You're not letting me type.
Yep, I think it did.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
should be shared.
We can type at the same time. That's the whole point of Google Docs. So
I
just
was trying to.
Profession.
whatever you're trying to type,
Oops.
Oh,
like copy. And then you can type it.
you were
All
right in
right.
the middle of
And
mine.
then maybe in parentheses your real name.
Oh, am I ever writing you by accident?
No, no.
No, I did.
And Google
Oh,
Docs
Kyle
sometimes.
did. Okay. But I don't want to be Kathy. I want to be.
Right, you want to
Gwen,
create one.
It'll be somebody else. Oh, are you going to be a friar, Colin?
Yeah, my boy.
Oh, yes, dude.
Hello there, Fire Dunstan based.
Right, and then we
And then you
said,
list
oh,
everything.
Yeah,
So
Friar
you do like
Dunstan.
boss.
All right, please tell me you're like a pudgy Friar Tuck looking
It's
dude.
just not shy.
Exactly like that. Yes.
Yes. Looks good. Whenever I picture friars, I know like they run the gamut of like body types and personalities, but like man, I don't ever think of a friar as anything other than Friar Tuck.
Same.
Profession, Franciscan friar. That makes sense.
Yep.
And you're addicted to medieval opium. I love everything about that.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what they would have called opium in the Middle Ages.
They called it theriac.
Oh,
that is medieval
nice.
opium.
nice.
Brad
Someone
just
understood.
delivered lunch to me, so I'm really
Yes.
excited
Yeah,
here.
please eat while we're playing. I know this is like kind of like right in the middle of
yeah, the only thing I just noticed
Lunchtime.
though is that I'm now reading more carefully my shout out in the charge. And I just realized that if you were protecting your great Aunt Kay, it's only set at a 1.
so that's a great aunt.
I,
Is it great as an elderly, not great as in you are a phenomenal
great
person?
and less related to
Okay.
you.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll
Good
go with
excuse, Kyle.
Because I was like, "Dang,
That was-
I wanted to do
I
that."
listen, I can't make all of my shout outs like so obvious. People have to, there's like a ton in this book. There's a ton in every game that I make, but like people get shouted out all the time and don't know it.
Hashem, whenever you're
Should
ready,
we
you guys
protect
just
your
let me know. I
cat?
don't
That would
care.
be for us. That would be a 6.
That would be a 6. Yeah. Whenever you need to go pack Shan,
All right, I'm gonna do a traumatic past.
Oh, really? No.
I don't know what's gonna happen to Roland.
Right, and then vengeance. Oh, vengeance is,
Let's read the.
and we said
the
vengeance with a
examples.
4.
Do a carriage crash for my traumatic past.
Right, the hard one. This is a coworker. We want to kill the man.
I accidentally killed some people
In
who
costume
did not
design.
deserve it in a carriage
So you want
crash. I think
vengeance
that's
against
gonna
the
be
guy who
what
killed
we
our dad in the brawl.
Sure, that seems fair. Yeah, of course we do.
just listening to some of you guys like your snippets. I'm very excited to see what people come up with.
Do we want to make the vengeance a 6 and Rue a 4? Or do we gonna keep Rue a 6?
Sure.
Because that maybe seems, I mean, even though we do love Rue, but all right, we're gonna go vengeance.
The example was like the
4.
pet parakeet was a 1. So
That's why
my cat being
yeah,
6.
that's what I was thinking.
Well,
We're
she
being
is.
dramatic if we put that.
The pet parakeet.
I mean, the cat is, a
She's
little
6
higher
for
than
me.
the cat. Yeah, that's true. Annie would protect that brood before she protect me, so I'm just saying.
Tough one.
Great Aunt Kay.
Both 6s to me. Yeah, great Aunt Kay 1.
Great Aunt K 1.
Killed our dad in a brawl. Okay.
Right. And then, all
His name is Gwendolyn.
right, I'm going to pause the recording. So I'm going to resume the recording. And then what I'd like us to do, if at all possible, this is just for us. So there is a difference between what we would refer to as player knowledge and character knowledge. So our characters aren't going to know these things about each other, but it is important as players that we know a little bit about the other people at the table. That way that we can sort of build our storyline. Apparently I'm starting the Black Plague early today,
Nice.
which is great.
So
Because
It's on brand.
stop dying. Jeez.
All right, I'll put my mask on.
Thank you. Yeah. Because more than anything, this is a shared storytelling experience, right? We want to work together to sort of make the story what it is and to sort of sculpt it together as a group. So it's kind of important for us to be like, oh yeah, like this is Friar Dunstan. Why are you twitching so much, right? Your character might not know why he's like doing this a little bit, but out of character, you would know. So we're going to take a little bit of time to introduce our characters. Obviously the full extent of these details won't become known to the characters themselves until a little bit later. So Colin, I'm gonna have you go first because I'm very excited to meet this friar.
Absolutely. Hello there. My name's Friar Dunstan Beasley. I've been a Franciscan friar for quite some time, and I'm very dedicated to my craft. I don't care much for Mabel Tindercan. You see, we've got a local garden here at the monastery, and she tends to pick all the carrots. Anyways, I have a bit of an urge occasionally to take my medication. That's what I call it. Keeps me stable, and well, it helps me to see the faith better, if you know what I mean. That's it. That's me.
Okay, we are not following that. I'm sorry, but we are not.
Same. I don't know if I'm gonna have a voice like that.
You don't have to do a voice at all. All I can think of is this just sounds like a deeper voiced Michael Caine from Batman. I'll tell you what, Mr. Wayne. The Normans are advancing. I don't think it's very wise that you bring out the Bat Knight suit for this. They're going to make you go on crusade.
Oh my God, Kyle, off topic, but we need to record like a one-on-one like interview thing in those voices, doing like a talk show for Root, because I think that would be amazing.
We're just gonna we'll have to do. It's two characters who aren't involved in the events.
Exactly.
Just trying to summarize what happened. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I will go next.
Perfect.
Hi, I'm Roland. I'm a carriage driver. That's what I've done my whole life. Unfortunately, recently there was a mechanical malfunction on one of my wheels, and some good folks died who didn't deserve it. So my traumatic past is 6, and I have probably my best friend in the whole world. Speaking of stable, is a horse. Her name is Sandy. She's smarter than some people I know, and better smelling than some people I know. And that's a little bit about me. So sorry, you're gonna have to follow one of us. And Miranda's like, crap.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. I am Corliss Satone. I am free from anxiety. But I tell you, darling, this plague is quite awful. Oh my. Excuse me, I'm okay. So I've been dealing with this plague going on for as long as I can remember. But I tell you what, those bastards in the royal courts, I'll have my vengeance on them. How dare they tell me what to do and how to act and who I can treat? They have no bearing on who needs to be provided with care. Oh, I'll take down them. That's my cause. Death to the man and the woman.
Can we just appreciate that even in the Middle Ages, insurance companies are still the worst?
That's right.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
The worst. The more things, the Black Plague. Do you really need this coverage right now? Sir, my arm has fallen off. Like,
Tis but a flesh wound.
Yeah, you got another arm. You're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Anna's gonna do ours for us. She agreed. Because we agreed I couldn't do it. I just couldn't follow this. So Anna said she, as an only thespian. You're the only thespian in the family. All right, Anna said she'd do it.
oh, I'm excited.
Ready for this.
I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready for I'm ready for Gwendolyn.
Okay, you. Anna said, I'll do it if you make me.
Make her.
Make her.
Do it.
Maker.
God, they didn't leave. They were leaving at 12:30. Woo! I got lucky on that
All
one.
right. Our name is Gwendolyn, and we witnessed our father die brutally in a brawl when we were just 12 years old. The pit fighting was, not in our basement, but somewhere nearby, the park downtown. We're with Miranda and the Kings. We hate them too. They sanction all of this. So we have vengeance against the man who we watched kill our
The man.
burned into our brains. We'll never forget the way he made us feel. However, luckily we do have one surviving family member, which is our grand cat Rue, and we would do anything for her.
Yes, this is the best.
That was amazing.
That was incredible. That was so good. I love just you're like just so addled with trauma. Yes, I lost my father. He died
That was
tragically.
12.
He was beaten to death in front of me. Oh, stop whinging. I'm busy talking. Stop fussing about it. Everyone loses people. That man lost an arm. Oh my God. Okay, so a couple things that are special for this particular game, and not in the rule book, but because of our theme and our goal. I'm gonna add some special rules and put a little spice on it. In your character, so our goal is to solve a mystery. I think we're all on board with the serial killer angle. I don't know if we necessarily want to give the serial killer a name.
No.
I will allow you all to do that. But I want I want all of us to have a connection to the serial killer of some kind. So whether you lost someone to the serial killer, whether you are sure that you might maybe you saw them and tried to catch them, it can be totally tied to your character. So for example, I'm going to be the one that says, like, I check my carriage religiously. So I think that the serial killer loosened the bolts on my wheels.
He's the one who's messing up Kyle's truck. Okay, so we need to.
So
Right.
keep related.
Serial killer.
So I'm going to say that the serial killer is to
Maybe
blame.
he like runs the fighting ring.
Oh yes. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. He runs. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
He
type
runs.
it in it, type
Oh, I
it in
read
it.
on there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or someone else. Yeah. Type it.
Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Wait, I gotta get to the. I'm not in the document. Here we go.
Yeah, she's looking at the Zoom screen share and
I'm
like,
trying to
typing
type
on
in
it.
this.
Yeah, sorry. I'm doing this just so if we decide that
No,
there
it's
are,
helpful.
people want to watch this recording, they can go back and they can kind of see what we're working on at least a little bit. It winds up being a little easier than me having to sort of type down everyone else's stuff while it's going on. We've done this a couple times.
I've tried to save a couple of the people who have been murdered or harmed
As a doctor, that makes
as
sense.
a doctor. Yeah. I've come upon their writhing bodies.
Yeah, they're making.
She tried to kill her. She tried to save our dad.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
We owe you one, Corliss. How do you pronounce Corliss?
Corliss, just like that.
Corliss.
Corliss. I'm
All
free
right.
from anxiety.
Free from anxiety, but also not free from rage.
Not free from rage or the Beaver stream.
Is that the hospital? Can that be your hospital name?
The Beaver Stream.
Beaver Stream. Okay. So and then Colin, what is your connection? People lose faith to the killings. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Now comes my favorite part, which is the building of relationships between our characters. So before After the Rain begins, we all share a connection with somebody. So, and it has to be someone at this table. So that way we kind of begin this game with our characters having some sort of relationship built in already before we even start a single scene. So actually, what you guys did with Gwendolyn and Corliss works perfectly.
Okay.
So one of you could pick, so you would just put connection, and then, so only one of you is going to do this because every player needs a connection at the table,
Gotcha.
right? So Miranda, if Corliss says my connection is with Gwendolyn, no one else is going to have a connection with Gwendolyn. Or if
Sure.
Gwendolyn, you're like, my connection is with Corliss, no one else can have a connection with Corliss. But what you guys laid out there of you tried to save my dad is a perfect connection. Like
Okay.
that I could not have come up with a better example myself.
You
it's
can
perfect.
use that one.
We're naturals.
Yep.
Yeah, you are. Can I have my connection be to Roland? That he's my trusted carriage driver?
That's a good one.
Oh, I deliver the bodies to you.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm like your ambulance driver.
Yeah, you're like the hearse.
Oh my God, yes. Okay.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so no one else is going to have a connection with, so no one can have a connection with Corliss and no one else can have a connection with me. That's a great one. That's really good.
Who am I connected with by proxy?
So no one has a connection with Gwendolyn and no one has a connection with you. So you
Okay,
should
so
have your
Gwendolyn.
connection with Gwendolyn because you can't have a
Yeah.
connection with yourself.
That's what I said. By proxy.
I mean, you could.
You could have a connection with yourself, but we're not in public anyway.
Take that to the
maybe don't
Beaver
do that. We're
stream.
recording. We're recording now. Come on now.
This is PG-13, by the way. I get carte blanche to make this PG-13. So anything beyond that.
I mean, we might need extra money that we sell you some of that opium, some of that.
I'm sure somebody.
Oh, drugs.
Yes.
Oh man, and that would work
Too.
because
there
Gwendolyn
you
is
go.
kind of like already in the seedier elements of the city anyway.
We're shady
We have the
now.
basement action going.
This is
on.
good. We
Oh.
are drug dealers.
Already, this
We
is
are drug dealers.
Me and mom.
Orlis is going to remember that.
A family business.
Family business.
it starts as a serial killer show, and now we're medieval weeds. That's really what this is.
I
Yep.
love that Rowan delivers the bodies.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
good.
funny.
So my connection has to be with Dunstan.
Dunstan.
Can we say that maybe I go to Dunstan for confession because I feel so guilty about killing all those people in that carriage accident?
That works.
Like Dunstan is my confessor.
Well, he
I
didn't
didn't
mean
know.
to kill him. He killed him because of the accident.
I
He
didn't know
mean
you-
to. He was just
Because of the
driver.
bolts on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
I
doesn't
didn't
wanna
catch
get
that
old.
you accidentally killed one. I missed that part.
Yeah, that was my carriage crash. Is I accidentally killed a bunch of people because the carriage broke and crashed. And I blame myself, but I check my carriage religiously. So I think that serial killer is the one that did it. And again, part of the reason we're doing all this is it builds these characters up even before we start playing. So we have these connections with each other. We have an idea of why we're all going after the same person. Or while we're trying to solve the mystery of who is this person that is just like being absolutely violent the whole time.
His connection.
We're the drug dealer.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. Okay, I think that is everybody. So just a quick overview of what's going to happen next. So now that we are officially ready to begin play, which is the exciting thing, I'm going to do what's called setting the scene. So I'll tell you a little bit about what the city is like. If everyone's cool, for whatever reason, I'm fine setting this during the plague. I wasn't going to set it during the plague, but Miranda's a plague doctor, so we're setting it during the plague now. So as if to make everything not as crappy as humanly possible, there's also a serial killer, or at least someone going around just carrying out a series of extrajudicial murders. We are trying to track them down. And the city is obviously gripped in the throes of a plague, maybe not necessarily the Black Plague, but it would not have been uncommon for there to be like waves of disease, particularly in larger cities at this time, sanitation being what it is. So what's going to happen is that we're going to have, so this is going to take place over 3 acts. Act 1 is going to be 4 scenes, right? 1 for each player at this table. All right. We get to choose where we go for those scenes. We play fast and loose with location. We play fast and loose with time. So if we say, hey, I want to have my scene, so let's say Gwendolyn is setting the scene and Gwendolyn's like, I want to have this scene with Corliss and I want to have it with Dunstan and I want to go here in the city. This is some Game of Thrones season 8 logic. You're going to be teleporting all over the place. But there is one important thing to make note of. The city is gripped in torrential rain. And this is where the after the rain element comes in. The rain, the longer that you are exposed to this rain, for whatever the reason is, whether it's magic or chemicals, or whether it's ever explained at all, you are going to lose parts of yourself the longer you are exposed to this water. And that is really, really important for you to make note of. So it is going to be essential that we have to get out into the rain, because the rain is what makes this readily available, or gives us the opportunity, in our case, to solve the mystery of who is carrying out these killings and these nefarious deeds all throughout the city. But it poses a danger to who we are on a fundamental level. So when you do a scene, depending on what you do and what you describe to me, I am going to have you lose facets of your character. So that means that, like, let's say, for example, I take a scene and I lose 2 points of profession carriage driver. What could happen then is that I could be a worse carriage driver later on, because I've lost the skills and I've lost the memories of being a carriage driver. If a facet ever falls to 0, it is completely wiped away from your character. It is as if that part of your character's history never existed. So what that means is like, so Gwendolyn, if your loss of your dad in a brawl goes from a 6 to a 0, you basically just forget your dad ever existed, period. So that could be kind of traumatic for some characters, where some characters are like, this is the thing that I've built my whole life around, and they tend to crumble. Or maybe in like my case, maybe moving past the traumatic carriage crash is a good thing for my character. I'm not riddled with guilt anymore, right? It is up to you on how you would like to play that, from a role-playing perspective. So how you choose to approach that with your character. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be a mixed bag.
I have a
yes,
question.
Answer.
So if, say, they go to a 0 on that loss,
Yes.
how does that shift the vengeance then? Because the vengeance kind of pivots on that loss.
It absolutely would. So for them, right, it's up to them on how they would like to play it. But you could say, you don't know why, you just hate this person. You are just driven to mess up this one person. And in your mind, it just feels like regular old spite, because you've lost that ability of that grief, right? Whereas if you lose the vengeance, but you're still upset about the loss of your dad, maybe that's a positive thing, because instead of being motivated to kill this guy, you're motivated to live a life that your dad would be proud of. So all of you guys have some really good, interesting things where if you take away a lot in one, I'm not sure what's going to happen to your characters personality wise. But yeah, that's a brief overview of how that mechanic is going to work. The reason you have a 4th dice is because sometimes in the course of playing this game, you might want to do something that seems extraordinary, right? Like, I'm not going to tell Miranda that she can't suture someone's wound shut. That's something that a plague doctor probably would be able to do. Now, if Miranda has to like amputate someone's limb in the middle of the street using only a rusted butter knife, that's gonna require some extra die rolling. So you're gonna pick a facet that you want to use. You'll roll your 6-sided dice. So in my case, I rolled a 3. You add that to the value of the facet you rolled, and then based on that, you either succeed or fail. So like if I used my traumatic past as a way to help me, I don't know, maybe interrogate somebody because I want to help someone out, that'd be a 9, right? There is one very special rule though. You can choose to automatically succeed on one of those rolls if you would like to. However, doing so, you must spend one of your facets. So if it is a facet of a 4 or higher, it drops to a 1. If it is a facet of a 3 or lower that you are choosing to automatically succeed on, it drops to a 0. So you have the option to, and by doing so in game, you literally expose yourself in some way to a vast amount of the rain in order to succeed on something, right? So maybe I want to save a drowning child. I would jump headfirst into a pool of the rainwater and yank them out, but doing so would cost me almost all of that facet. So, all right, with the boring rule stuff out of the way.
And so I just got to go for a sec. Shannon's going to have to leave now. So they're going to wave goodbye and I'm going to just run.
We're going to pause.
So yeah, thanks. I'll be
They'll
right
have
back.
to-
Bye. Good to see you.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
You'll have to
I'm
watch this
losing-
and see what happens.
I'm losing my creativity though.
Yeah, send
but
us
all
the
right.
video after.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, I'm going to pause the sharing. How's everybody doing?
Out here.
Doing good.
I'm excited. You guys have cool characters.
Me too.
That's so cool. I always feel like I make the lamest characters in this game.
Me too.
No,
I like your
yours
your
is
Uber
yours is
driver.
cool as shit, Miranda.
Well, thanks. That's because I'm cool as shit.
I mean, that makes sense.
Tracks.
You're gonna like burn down a court building.
That's right. Damn the man.
I'm glad I got an extra soda before this started.
All right. How long are we
call.
going to be paused? I'm going to run to the restroom then.
Do it.
I
Do
think
it, do it,
I'm
do it.
also going to do that.
Yeah,
just
do
in
that now.
case.
Good call.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
All right, so everyone is using the bathroom at Kathy. So
All right, I'll go do that too.
yes, go use the bathroom. Go do that. Everybody get ready, get situated. I want to stretch. Oh, I'm talking to myself. Excellent. All right, you're the first one back as well.
All right, I did leave first, so I suppose that's probably valid.
That makes sense. Dude, I'm so excited to play this with you. Okay, this is sick.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, I will never be able to play by myself. I have no idea how to play these kind of games. So I was like, I kind of have to sign up for this because I won't know how to play otherwise. And I clearly am in way over my head because you are so good at this. So
Not at all. Not at all.
No way. The nice thing about these types of games is you can totally just make up stuff as you go. It's great.
Like I did not have any idea. I had a vague clue that I wanted to do solve the mystery before this started.
And that is kind of interesting. You're right, Miranda. Like it just kind of seems to just go.
Yep. That's the nice thing about RPGs, role-playing games. Yeah.
And not for nothing, but this particular one was designed because I was like, I don't always want to have to plan everything out. I would like to plan as the group.
Sounds great.
Well, it was not. Okay, so I thought it was recording. That was fun. That's okay.
Yeah. Do you need
That's
a
all right.
recap?
That was such a good intro to
It was a good intro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't notice it until just now.
I didn't notice it until either. So we will do a quick intro. So we find ourselves in the city of London. It is being gripped by 3 plagues, 2 natural and 1 unnatural. The first is a virulent disease that is running through the city and killing both the poor and the rich alike. Town criers are either saying it is the wrath of God or the return of the Black Plague, but no one is sure which or where it comes from. The other is a torrential downpour that seems to leave both flop houses and churches full of individuals who, once exposed to the rain, seem to forget either who they are or where they're at. In addition to this peculiar rain and this very virulent disease, you find ourselves actually locked in the middle of a crime wave. A mysterious criminal overlord has been carrying out a series of murders, arsons, and sabotages that have left the city in terror. It is because of this overlord that we find these 4 different individuals all gathered together with one express purpose: to find this criminal and bring them to justice, which is where we begin our scene now that I actually remembered to hit the recording button, which is fantastic. So right now we are establishing that there is a shared spot where we meet. I love the idea that Beaver Stream is in the red light district.
Let's do it.
That makes sense.
I think that's fantastic.
I will refer to it as the Beeve moving forward.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Roland is just going to refer to it as Big House because he can't read. So in a traditional game of After the Rain, usually the person with the most experience role playing will set scene 1 unless somebody wants to set scene 1. If everyone's okay, I don't mind setting our first scene. So we're just going to say that, can I be dropping off a load of fresh bodies? Okay, so I'm dropping off a load of fresh bodies. Corliss works here. Is Gwendolyn just dealing Theriac out of the hospital?
Well,
That's
you guys
where
are like
get it from, right?
you guys are like tight too, right? Like you guys are connected, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So
I got you, Gwendolyn.
We've all got opium just in little thimbles.
Oh my god, it's so
Got it around my neck. Don't know how it's taken.
Sorry, can Dunstan have a crucifix that's hollow and it's full of the theriac?
Yeah, now they have those rings that you can put
where
poison
you
in,
can really-
right?
He's got his like a ring of Jesus that's like full of opium. Oh, I'm going to hell. It's fine.
We all are. We all
Yeah.
You there?
Save your spot at the lava pond, guys. All right. So I'm just gonna be unloading. I'm gonna be unloading bodies. Just at this moment, and then I guess I'm gonna kind of come in and like see the three of you guys gathered. All right. Bodies are loaded. Sorry, Coolest. No one's alive. I'm not really sure. I mean, if there's a state that's worse than dead, they're probably there now.
I reach my hand out and put a shoulder on you, or put my hand on your shoulder. How have you been, Roland?
Friar Dunstan. I'm fine, I guess. Yeah, it's a hard life out there. Am I gonna like flick the rain from my cloak? Listen, there's been a bit of a problem. Bolts on my carriage wheels were loose again. I know we've talked about this at length, Friar, but I think someone's trying to sabotage us, or at least sabotage me.
What makes you think that this is sabotage?
I mean, Coolest, you. I mean, I'm not a learned person like you, but I'm a professional. I check my carriage every morning. I check it after every run, and I mean, you were there. You saw what happened after You saw what happened after
Yeah. No need to describe.
Thanks. I'm even more vigilant now. So why is it that the bolts on my wheels are loose? And why is it that there's been 3 other carriage crashes from 3 other operators later in the city? I mean, these were men I knew, good men, professionals.
Well, what
I mean,
kind of tools do they need to do that kind of work? I saw some tools over at the Brawl Center, the fight club I was at when my dad died. They had lots of tools there. What kind of tools would you need to loosen the bolts on your carriage?
I mean, not the kind of tools you'd be carrying around all the time. I mean, you could do it with a hammer, but it would leave the wheel broken. So if they had those special tools, then that means...
There were lots of tools outside that fight club, outside, right near my basement, right next door.
That does seem suspicious.
You all think this is... I mean, what are we even calling that thing? Shadow, the man? What do you call him? Them. I don't even know who they are. But do you all think this could be the person that's been doing all the stuff around the city? They're not the... I'm just going to call it what it is. The bastard.
Well, I think even if it's not, it's probably worth investigating. Seems like might do you some good there. And I'd like to stop him as well.
Well, now, let's not get carried away and assuming that these are all nefarious reasons. I think we should, take a very scientific approach to what's happening and maybe investigate your wheels to see if there's any evidence, so to speak, that's been left behind. We don't want to jump to conclusions and assume the worst. I mean, we are dealing with a lot right now in our community, and I think we don't need to be too hasty.
You're right. Let's go check the cart out. So who is everyone coming to check the cart then?
Yeah.
Wait, is it? But it's outside. Your cart's outside.
It's like parked under like one of the you have like, it's not like an eave. It's like
it's my morgue entrance.
Yeah, it's the morgue entrance. So it's partially covered, but like there's some drizzle seeping in, some mist seeping in for sure.
Let me get on a jacket and my face mask, okay?
Oh, yep. Gotta
Bundle
be clean.
up, everyone.
Gotta be clean. And I
Not
spit in my
the
hands
other.
and like
Right.
wipe them. Yeah, clean, nice and clean. Yep, gotta get that sanitized. Okay, so Corliss, you're gonna be the first one out to inspect the cart.
Okay.
can you, so obviously you don't know a ton about inspecting a cart. So can you
Absolutely not.
can you pick a facet to use for this roll? And then I would like you to roll a D6, please.
Well, of course, that would be my profession as a plague doctor.
Obviously, being if you can put together a body, you can put together a cart.
Yeah.
That's right. I got a 1.
So 1 plus what is the value of your
So I
facet?
have 6.
Okay, so a 6 in total. So a
Yeah.
6 means that you're going to succeed, but it's going to cost you a little bit. So while you are moving on the cart, we'll just say that you slip and fall in a puddle, essentially, and then pick yourself up. The cart does look tampered with, but that is not the thing that scares you the most about what you see at the cart. Because while you're sort of looking around and inspecting the wheels, Corliss, you notice that there is something really wrong with one of those corpses that Roland has brought back to you.
Oh.
So the disease is definitely present on this corpse, but as you fall and kind of tumble, you look at you're like looking up at a weird angle. You notice that there is an incision, like in the side of one of the corpses. It's a very deep, it looks like a deep like incision or a deep puncture wound. You're not sure which. But the evidence of necrosis around and in that incision is vastly more accelerated than it is everywhere else in the body. So it's almost like the plague was localized to that area. And you're like that, and it's unnatural looking to you. You've never seen anything like that in however many years you have been a plague doctor.
Okay. All right. So since I slip and fall in a puddle, does that impact my facet?
It will at the end of this scene. I will tell
Gotcha.
everyone, I'll
Okay.
tell you exactly how much of a facet you are going to lose.
Okay, gotcha.
It won't
Okay.
be super hard in Act 1. In Act 1, it generally tends to be a little bit more relaxed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So as I'm falling, I see this and I'm gasping. Ah! What is that?
There's something wrong with the cart.
Well, there's definitely something going on with your cart. There's no doubt about that. There is somebody messing with it. But in bigger news, this lady here is very, very concerning to me. Do you see this slash into this person's abdomen?
I don't, but we can remove the body. Do you want us to bring it inside?
Yes, please. Take him to my table.
Friar Dunstan, would you like to help? Can you help me with this body, please?
But you see Friar Dunstan's like taking a swig out of something, putting it back.
It's just
Oh.
drinking the opium.
Just drinking it.
It's apparently it was in a liquid form because it was like some trace amounts of opium in it, and that's what would do it. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's your
That's
medicine,
that's
right?
Yeah,
amazing.
it's my medicine.
I mean, it makes sense. You could probably drink opium.
You need one of those little plastic Robitussin cups.
This has got a bottle of ye old Pepto-Bismol
ye
full
old
of Therian.
Pepto. Yeah, I will. I look over at you after taking my swig. Oh, all right. Yeah, I can. I can help. Okay.
We're gonna bring this inside onto your operating table, Miranda, so that Corliss can get a good feel for it.
Yes. Okay. That sounds great. So dry everything off, then take gloves off, mask off, cloak off, and flip the body over, and we're investigating, and I communicate to everyone that there is something very unusual about what I'm seeing with the incision, that it is necrotizing around the wound itself. And I'm very uncertain about the cause of this, because this is, I've never seen anything out of like this before. It's out of my scope of practice. So it makes me very, very concerned that this might be, another issue that we have to deal with, or the deaths, instead of dying by the plague.
So then we're not jumping to conclusions then. That this is a real thing.
Roland, I think you might be right. But I don't want to jump to conclusions yet, but there's definitely evidence of tampering with your carriage. And now we have this. We can't say that it's all tied to the same person, but that does seem a little nefarious to me.
I think we should investigate, even if it's going to hurt. I mean, the town guard's not doing anything about it. The king doesn't seem to care, so...
Oh, ugh, they never do anything like they're supposed to. Ugh, you can never count on them.
And
Worthless.
present company excluded Friar Dunstan. The church seems kind of useless here.
Mm.
Again, present company excluded.
Well, there's not really much we can do. We're not, we're men of the cloth. We don't have any powers to investigate. At least not manners like this. But you've got my support.
Well, that's all we need. I think we should start looking around. And I'm going to end my scene there. So that leaves us with a pretty clear indication that we need to start looking around. I am going to drop one of my facets. So I was out in the rain. I am going to drop my love for my beloved horse, Sandy, to a 4. Sorry, Sandy. I know. Miranda, I'm going to say you're going to drop a facet by 1 as well.
Do I pick the facet?
I am going to let you pick the facet. Yep. So it's up to the game masters, I guess, not purview, but it's up to their discretion how they want to do facet loss. So
Okay.
like I could be like, you have to pick 2 facets, lose 1 in each, or you have 2 points of facets to lose. You can choose to divide them however you would like.
Okay.
But
Alright.
I think a slip and a fall in a puddle is just a 1. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
so-
It's going to impact my vengeance. It's going to go down. To
Okay.
2.
That makes sense because you got a lot of your frustrations out by yelling about them. I guess in this the man.
The man. Rabble, rabble, rabble.
So I'm gonna have Friar Dunstan set the next scene. The way that this is gonna work is so Colin gets to pick any number of characters to play a part in this scene, and it could be anywhere. So he can say, "Oh yeah, Friar Dunstan is gonna grab Corliss, Gwendolyn, and we're gonna go here." Right, we're gonna go somewhere else. Right, it's up to him how we do that. So again, like I said, we're gonna play fast and loose with time and fast and loose with location. So it's essentially who you want to go, who you want to take with you, and where do you want to go.
I would like to keep it all as a group. I think still, it feels like we would probably all still be traveling together.
Mhm.
Is there what's the name of the bar that your dad was killed in? Was it a bar that the brawl was at?
It was a bar. Yeah, it was the basement of a bar. And where's Anna when I need her?
Well, we can all, if anyone has any ideas for a good ye old medieval tavern.
Yeah,
Kristen might know.
What?
But I think it's like the Drunken Boar or something.
That sounds good. There you go. The
that
drunken
sounds
boar.
great.
Can we have it in the drunken boar? Or would that be would your character have any qualms about going there, I guess?
No, because it's next door apparently to our house. So I have to go there all the time. So this place is next door to our house.
Okay, cool.
Well, that's convenient.
I would like for all of us to be at the drunken boar.
All right, I'm assuming we're riding there in my carriage.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
are we going to get there without getting wet?
We don't. I don't think we do, unfortunately.
I know that we don't usually have go from scene to scene, but we could even say that at the end I'm like, oh, maybe we should do some investigating at the drunken boar. And I know it's raining, but I could go for a walk.
I can tighten the bolts on my carriage. I can take it.
Oh, I would like to ride in the carriage, please.
All right.
Medieval, too fast, too furious.
That's right.
Do this as a family. All right, so we're all in the carriage, we're all driving. So Colin, do you want us to set the seat at the drunken board, or do you want us to role play our travel up too?
No, I was just trying to find a way to get some rain on us. That's why I suggested going for a walk.
Oh, we're gonna get rain on us even if we take. So when I say carriage, I have an over glorified cart.
Oh, okay.
Roland is not a. This is. I am not a. I am.
It's not a covered wagon.
No, buddy.
Dang.
I'm delivering corpses to a hospital called Beaver Stream in the red light district at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's not classy.
I mean,
Yeah. I think we'd rather walk, huh, Miranda?
Yeah.
Do we really want to get in that cart with those where those dead bodies just got out of?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I touch them all day.
That's true.
I love that Brandon takes the mask off to look at the dead corpse.
Yeah.
Dude. Let's take all. We don't need
Take all the
that.
safety
I don't
equipment
need
off.
this. That makes sense.
That's for the peasants.
Yeah. Peasants.
I think just being at the tavern or at the inn would be good.
Perfect. All right. So
Cool.
we pull up to the drunken boar.
And we hop out, and I look to you all and say, "No, I think we should go in there and maybe do some investigating of our own. See if anybody in there knows anything about the decisions or their carts being messed with, and maybe we can go from there."
Gwendolyn said there were tools here. At least tools.
Right outside the door.
I think that's a great idea.
All right. Who is opening the door first? Who is leading the charge?
I will lead the charge.
All right. So Friar Dunstan, as you open the door up, it becomes the room, which is very like raucous and loud and busy. Heads turn, and they see that you're a man of the cloth, and like it just goes real quiet.
I take a little bow. Hello. Nothing wrong.
There's a very large man, like just like almost like 7 feet tall, comes up and he goes, "You sure you want to be here, Father? This is a den of sin."
I believe it was Christ himself who said that we should treat the sinners with more respect than any of the saints. Maybe something like that. But and I pulled my little bottle out. Men of the cloth aren't all straight. Now you're a big lad, but I don't think you want to take a row with me.
I don't want to take a row with anybody, Father, but if you're here, you're gonna drink.
Oh, I hope so.
And the big guy just like claps you on the shoulder, like your whole body that kind of jiggles. He goes, "Get the friar some drink." And then the bar just erupts back into like all of the noise, all of the stuff that it was doing before.
Beautiful.
All right. So where are you going in the bar? Who are you going to try to converse with? I'll let everyone, if you guys want to pick like a spot in the bar that you want to go try and investigate. Gwendolyn probably has the most knowledge of this location.
I was gonna say I'd like to like kind of talk to Gwendolyn first and say like, do you know of anybody in here who might know anything, or are there any particular spots where people tend to go that are on the shadier side? I know the basement is maybe a rough subject, but might be more information there.
Yeah, well, that's true. The basement is where all the fight club was. I don't know how you get in there though. We had to go. We chased my father. He got trapped in it. The guy made him. The head guy. What's the head guy? Give me another name, Colin, of another name from your site. What's his name?
Abacus Kingsley.
Abacus Kinsley is in charge of this place. My dad owed him money, and he made him fight in the basement. And I don't know what else would be. I don't know how else to get down there. The door seems always to be locked. They won't let women in. We were only 12 when we were down there, and I don't know how to get in without that guy without Abacus bringing us down there. Maybe we should try to find Abacus.
Sounds like a good place to start. What's he look like?
Oh, big mean mother. Oh, we probably didn't say that then.
Big mean mother works.
Yeah.
You didn't finish the rest of it. We're still within PG-13.
Not quite as big as that bouncer that was at the door, but big guy, a lot of hair, a lot of facial hair, mean SOB. Is that still PG?
That's still good. We're still within it.
Okay. Oh, we need like a 3-second thing for me. Like,
just put it on a delay.
Live with bleeps.
Exactly.
Okay, so you two are gonna go look for Abacus Kinsley. You know that he's big. You know that he's mean looking. By the way, Gwendolyn, he doesn't seem to be the same big guy that sort of stopped Father Dunstan from coming in.
That's right. He's a different one. Yes, that's right.
A different big mean,
hairy,
big mean mother.
Big mean
SOB.
mother. SOB.
Yep. But you do remember that Abacus Kinsley had it was 2 crossed keys over a skull. He had that emblem sort of tattooed onto the back end of his palm.
Okay.
back end of his left palm, or back of his hand, reverse palm, whatever you want to call it. So it is pretty easy to sort of look around and try to find something like that. I'm going to pause. All right, and we're back.
That's awesome.
Well, I think that guy behind the bar over there looks kind of familiar. The one roaming around there, cleaning up the glasses. He's got the same tattoo on his arm, on his hand.
Yeah, he absolutely does too. There's a really thin-looking bartender with like long, gangly arms, sort of like snatching bottles and pouring, and maybe he does like one of the little bartender like flippy things. We have props, you know.
I'll walk up to the bar and I'll pull a stool out for Gwendolyn, and then I'll take a seat myself. And I'll look at the guy. Hello. Mind if I get a drink?
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds.
Classic.
Lots of people are around here. Don't get too many men of the cloth who like to drink, Father.
Well,
What's your poison? He like looks at Gwendolyn too for like half a second, and like he almost recognizes, and just kind of like whatever, pulls away. What'll it be, Father?
oh, just some mead.
I don't got any mead. I have
What you got?
grog.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, grog it is.
Did women drink back then? Could I get a drink too, or am I just
Traditionally, no, but this is not an establishment that's going to stand on rules. If you've got coin, you can get grog. He slides a big frothing mug of something like the same color as like brackish looking water over to Friar Dunstan.
I'll take a swig of it, set it down, and then I'll lean in closer to him. Oh, listen, I really thought that I was going to get into a fight here when I showed up, and frankly, I'm still looking for one. Is there someplace I could go to do that?
I mean, Friar, most men know, you can't really get into a fight here in London unless you want to go brawl in the street. He looks over again at Gwendolyn. I know you from somewhere. Slides a pitcher of grog in her direction.
I'm not talking about a fight in the streets. I'm talking about fighting for coin.
What's a man of the cloth want for coin, Father? Seems I thought you had plenty of that. I mean, full respect to the oaths of poverty, but I mean, come on, Father. Gold leaf churches don't build themselves.
Well, I know it might not be normal for you to understand, but the church has not been doing so well as of late, and specifically my order has not been doing well as of late. So I've taken it upon myself to garner coin in whatever way I can find. And in my youth, I was quite a good fighter, could scrap with the best. I think that is a skill I haven't lost.
You'll have to ditch the habit. I don't think most men would risk excommunication or their souls.
Fair enough.
There's a bit of a row. Are you sure I don't know you from somewhere? And then the bartender just keeps leans close to Gwendolyn. And almost makes a move to like kind of grab her by the wrist. Gwendolyn, what are you doing?
I'm just mad because I hate this man so much and I have so much vengeance for him, but I want to make sure Friar gets in there to like investigate. So I'm trying not to just get so mad and like tell him exactly how I know him.
He grabs like your forearm, like, and his fingers kind of dig in a little bit. You can smell like his teeth are probably rotting a little bit. I mean, he's not Abacus, but his face does look familiar as well. Cause you remember Abacus had like a gaggle of like hangers on, flunkies, whatever you want to call them. Henchmen, sure.
A gaggle of flunkies.
Gaggle of flunkies. Gaggle of flunkies is the name of my Flight of the Conchords cover band.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Where do I know you from? I don't forget faces very much.
I live around here. You must have seen me in the neighborhood somewhere. I live right across the street. You must have seen me that way. It must be the only way. I've never been in here before. This is my first time with the friar.
Friar, she telling the truth?
Yeah, at least as far as I can tell.
He would never lie.
Yeah. All right, Friar. I'll show you down to where there's the fights, but I'd like to bring your familiar friend with you, if that's all right.
I won't make the decision for her, but sure.
What'll it be, lass? You want to see some real action?
I'll go with the friar. Okay.
Oh no.
So this dude just beckons to you to come behind the bar, and there's like a little, you can tell there's like it's not like a rug, it's so much as it's like a bunch of like hemp sacks that have sort of been like wound together, and he like sort of moves it, and it's clear that it's like a sliding door, and he pulls the sliding door and it reveals a staircase leading underneath the establishment. He gestures to the two of you. Go on, get in. You go first.
I'll go in and I'll start taking my friar stuff off as I'm walking down.
Okay. Are you guys okay to end that scene there? Because I think that's a pretty good spot. I'm gonna say so. Friar and Gwendolyn, I'm gonna say both you guys are gonna lose a facet, just exposure to the rainwater.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same for Corliss and the same for Roland as well. We're all gonna lose a facet. Everyone rode. Sorry, Sandy, you're gonna go to a 3. I loved this horse, and this horse is. I'm gonna forget that I even had a horse by the end of it. All right, what are you dropping, Friar?
I just dropped my profession.
Okay.
He is getting in a bar fight after all. He probably needs to.
That's
take a little
true.
less serious.
It's true. Yeah.
Thematically, that tracks. What is Gwendolyn dropping in facets?
I think I'm going to drop the cat because I don't know how that cat's going to fit in the story. So I'm just going to start dropping her. Do I drop it to a down one? Did you say?
Yes, down 1, not
Okay.
201, down 1.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not getting your head dunked in that rainwater. Okay, so Corliss or Gwendolyn, I will let. It's up to you guys. However you would like to set the scene. I was thinking Corliss would probably go next.
Okay.
So Corliss, just so you're aware, we are still in the bar and they have disappeared. Like we blinked for a second and Gwendolyn and Dunstan are gone.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of curious. When I was walking into the bar, I was kind of standing in the background, looking around, trying to get a feel for what was going on at the bar, to see if there were any other members of the doctoral profession that I recognized, or anyone that I've had maybe some underground workings with.
As a matter of fact, there is. It is a man with a long gray bushy mustache. He is just drenched, covered head to toe in rainwater. So he looks a lot crazier than he usually does, but this is basically somebody who is for lack of the better term, a quack. It's somebody that you buy he's kind of a tinkerer, kind of a barber, kind of a surgeon, kind of a general store owner. He's just a guy that you buy random sundry goods from at different moments. Did you want to have this scene with me, or do you want to go solo on this? You can go solo. That is also an option.
I think solo. Okay. Yeah. All right. So his name is Sawbones.
Yep. Sawbones. That's what you call him.
That's his nickname, Sawbones.
Yep.
Okay.
Monsieur Sawbones.
So before I go up there, I'm gonna go up to the bartender and order a drink.
Sure.
Do you have anything of the sweeter variety here? Any wines?
You notice the bartender is a much more pleasant looking individual than the man that you saw tending bar a few moments before. He probably isn't any older than 20. He's kind of curly blonde hair, a very pleasant young man to look at. Oh, why, yes, madam. In fact, I believe we have some ciders that just came in. They're a tad on the pricier side, but he kind of looks you up and down a little bit, notices the medical robes. That shouldn't be an issue, I don't think, for a woman of a certain profession.
Oh, no. I'll take a cider, please.
Excellent. And as you do, you see somebody bumps in, like you hear it behind you, but somebody bumps into Monsieur Sawbones' chair, and like he's like freaks out.
Mr. Sawbones, can we talk?
He like looks around the room. He's like, his eyes are like, I mean, he's crazy out. For the last time, it is Saban, not Sawbones. I am Monsieur Saban. Oh, you filthy Englishman. And he's trying to drink something. Like it looks like he has a cup in front of him and he just can't find it. And he just drinks the air.
Perfect.
Yes. The bartender slides you your cider very quietly. Be careful about him, madam. That crazed frog has been sitting there yelling this entire time. Getting rainwater everywhere.
Nonsense. We go way back. I'm gonna take my drink and go right on over there. Mr. Sawbones.
It's Saban.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Saban.
Quillis. It is good to see you. Where am I? How did I get here?
I don't know, but I really need to talk to you. I have some very interesting information I need to discuss with someone of your stature.
All right. Yes.
Can we go somewhere a little more private?
There is, how you say, a back room. We could go there, yes?
Yes. Back room would be great.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Okay.
He leads you to it's like a back room chamber, and it's clear there's like 6 or 7 people kind of like asleep in here. Judging from the smell, you can't tell if someone has relieved themselves in this room or if someone is dead. It is really hard to tell.
Okay, so I'm gonna take out my little ring and across my nose to
there's a hole in the roof too, so like water is just like seeping into the whole thing. It is not a very well maintained establishment by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, the drunken boar is known for that. So.
0 stars on ye old Yelp.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
On Town Crier.
Town Crier. Okay.
What is it that you need to discuss with me?
So, Monsieur Sawbones, I am a little concerned. There were some bodies that were brought into the beaver stream today. At the Beeve, we do evaluations of the deceased and of course those who are very sick. And I noticed something very, very peculiar about this particular body. There was a incision in the abdomen that kind of looked like a puncture. And
what kind of puncture?
Well, it was about 3 inches long and about yay big, and it was necrotizing around the edges of the incision.
You mean like the plague?
Yes, but more localized. Like it was that was the initial starting point of the plague, and I've not ever seen anything like this before, and it's very concerning to me.
No! I do not like this. I need a drink. And he walks over to the hole in the ceiling where like the rain is coming. And he just goes, huh? And just like lets the rainwater like seep in, and just shakes himself off like a shaggy dog before like walking back to you. All right. I don't know how to tell you this, but in Paris, yes, we found a group of doctors has been working on a device that will let us inject medicinal herbs to the body. He like produces this like long piece of parchment from his like that's like basically underneath his cloak, and it looks like what we would know today as a very crude rudimentary syringe.
Okay.
if done improperly, it could have made it an incision mark as wide as you are describing. It's supposed to be non-invasive, though. So whoever is using it did so without care for the individual that they injected it into. It is possible that although you could fill it with things of medicinal quality, you could also fill it with something more dangerous.
And you think it would make an incision quite large?
If done improperly, yes. If someone just jammed it in over and over and over, yes.
Okay, that's very concerning to me. You said these were doctors.
Well, I mean, not just doctors, but this information was shared with a few other people, members of the French royal court, members of
the royal court.
and ambassadors from the Vatican.
The Vatican?
Yes. Members have been shared. Listen, Corliss, this is, I don't, my brain is foggy, but you are in trouble if they know this, if they have this. You should leave. We'll find some place safe to hide it.
This is very concerning to me, but I appreciate the information.
Good.
Are there ways to potentially prevent this information leaking out or prevent this danger?
As far as I know, the sketches for this, I borrowed this sketch from the last time that I was in France. Borrowed, yes, borrowed. Did not take. Yeah, but there were several sketches done. It's possible that some of them could have been borrowed as well.
I understand. Okay.
As I said, the people who have access to this are very, very powerful, very important people. I wish you luck. I must go now. He's gonna like run back over to the hole in the ceiling, stick his head back up, gargle some more rainwater, and then run off.
Okay.
Out into the street, just yelling and screaming something. He does leave you the sketch of the syringe, though.
He does. Okay.
Monsieur Sawbones, very kind individual.
Yeah. Been a little crazy.
You know,
I love that dude.
Literally just dunking your head in rainwater repeatedly in this game does not.
In this game, yeah, I was like, in this game, that's not a good idea.
Does not particularly do well, but I mean, hey, if you need to get a buzz, I guess.
I'm a little baffled by the information he shared with me. I am a little concerned about the sketch he gave me. I don't know if you can see that. That's
that's beautiful. That's exactly what that looks like too. That was the exact drawing. No other specifications done on that.
Yes.
It's still your scene. So if you want to go out and share this information with Roland, or if you want to go out and ask more stuff, you absolutely can.
Yeah, I think I want to go and touch base with Roland and see if he knows where Gwendolyn and the friar went, because now I'm, a little more shaken even about the knowledge of this syringe.
He's like, you find Roland sort of just drinking quietly in a corner. Good to show you again. What happened? You ran off. Oh, so have you seen Gwendolyn and the friar? I haven't seen Dunstan in a while.
No, I actually got sidetracked and was chatting with a colleague and found some very disturbing information. And I have not seen them around, no.
All right. What's the information?
Well, my colleague had shared that in France, there was a very interesting device. It looks like this. I show him the picture. And
I've seen that device before.
You have?
There. Yeah.
Where?
One of Friar Dunstan's colleagues had a drawing kind of like that on one of the tables the last time I was there for confession.
Interesting. Do you know the name of the colleague?
I couldn't remember. Dunstan said it was some sort of visiting priest or official. We probably should find them. I don't know where they managed to nick off to.
No, I've not seen them for quite some time. Let's go ask the barkeep if they've seen them around.
So we're gonna approach the barkeep. Oh, did you enjoy your cider, ma'am?
Oh, it's quite delicious. May I have
Yeah.
some more?
Oh, yes, absolutely, of course. And thank you, by the way, for ever so much for driving away that loathsome individual from that table. We're really trying.
Absolutely. I don't think he'll be back.
Oh, good. Well, then this cider is on the house.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Is there anything else I could be of service for?
So you seem like a very pleasant young man. Earlier, whenever we were here, there was a different barkeep up here. Do you happen to know where he went, and maybe if you've seen a friar around?
Anselm.
A young lady.
And you can tell that his face sort of like drops a little bit. Like he's like, I don't know if I should be talking to you about this guy. I'm not sure Monsieur Anselm managed to kip off to. I'm sure he's busy doing something. He's our regular bartender. At this point, by the way, Miranda, you notice that this guy has on his right shoulder, it has 2 keys, but it's missing the skull.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. You could attempt to try to convince this guy, but it is going to be a little difficult to do so.
Roland, do you have any insight here where you maybe can talk to this fella? Maybe you can relate.
I can try. I'm gonna roll. From one common man to another, I'm gonna use my profession of carriage driver because that's a working class man. That's an 8. As one common man to another, I think we should relate to one another. We're just trying to find a friend. It's really not that bad. Well, all right. Listen, don't tell anyone I told you this, but there's another business here. A business of a more carnal pursuit. I think he means another brothel. No, fighting. Oh, I think he means a fighting brothel. Listen, I can't bring you there, but just know that there's he kind of like stomps the floor, and it's even over the noise, the two of us can hear that the floor is hollow. There is something underneath. And if you're all right, Miranda, can we end that scene there?
Yep.
Oh, that's good. Okay, which means that Gwendolyn, last scene, which is really exciting. You get to end Act 1 for us. So just to narrate what's going on for you guys, you are led through. It's pretty apparent that what you thought of as a basement as a kid is far larger than you realized. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I forget, Miranda, you have 2 points of facets to lose.
2?
Yep, 2. And I'm going to say they must come from a single facet.
Oh. What if I only have 1 point left in it and
Then
it goes to 0?
Then it goes to 0. You can choose to do that if you would like.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Vengeance is at 0.
Oh, but now you can't hate on the kings anymore.
No, but I still don't like the political instability.
Oh, good point. Okay.
So less about the vengeance and more about the people.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, which I'm okay with. That makes sense. It is clear that this, whatever that basement thing is, it connects to a series of catacombs underneath the city. And just even from underneath the ground, you can just hear the rainwater everywhere. Like it is just pounding above you guys. You're led through the city, and then you realize that you're coming to a spot that you know it 100% because of what happened to your dad in the very same spot. This is the arena that he got killed in.
Oh.
But what you didn't realize at the time was that you know this spot from somewhere else. Because what this is it's a big round central chamber. And then as you look up, there's water pouring in to the room. So the entire thing is like people aren't like on bleachers. They're on like planks of floating wood. Because if you look up, this is the city cistern.
Oh, gross.
Yep. So Friar Dunstan, of special importance to you, flanked on either side by a bunch of guards, is somebody that you know rather intimately. It is the Archbishop of Canterbury,
Ooh.
who seems to be presiding over this event, with relative pomp and circumstance. And unlike the other people, he is not sitting on a big plank of floating water. He and all of his guards are like up on a big balcony that's sort of carved into the wall of this big, overwhelmingly large cistern.
Can I rip or take like the sash of my Franciscan belt and like wrap it around my face so that it's
Oh,
So
Yep.
he doesn't
Not-
know it's you.
Yep.
yeah.
no,
Abs-
you like have your
abs- yeah,
Franciscan belt on
That's
your
to-
face.
you can totally, you're, oh my God, it's Franciscan Batman.
Franciscan Batman.
Franciscan Batman and Parishioner Gordon.
Love it.
I feel so. All right, I can go to my grave now. Parishioner Gordon, we did it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, but yes, but otherwise, Gwendolyn, it is up to you to set the scene. You can choose to do it however you would like. Anselm is still like literally hovering next to you, and it looks like he like gestures to all of you guys to come into this rowboat, essentially just to bring you to this arena.
And he's okay. And so he was still trying to get Friar, still pretending like he wants to get into brawl, so we
Yep.
can.
So Friar, he's gonna gesture to the Friar to row, and then it's up to you. So you're literally in a rowboat in a big. It's essentially like a big floating pool, on your way to a big floating platform that is the arena.
Okay. And I can do whatever I want there. So I could.
Yep. So it's up to you to set
Okay.
this. You can do this in character. You can say, "Hey, my character's going to do this, 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 and this," and then it's up to you if you want to role play it or if you want to just say what you want to try.
Okay. So I'm gonna get in the boat with you, Friar, and we're gonna head on out. We know that you put that thing on your face because you don't want what do you call him? The Bishop of Canterbury.
Yeah, it's the Archbishop of Canterbury, which is a real position, by the way.
You don't want him to know that we're coming, and so, but as we start getting closer, so we still haven't found Atticus, but I see that there's all kinds of other fighters, and some of them look a lot older because, of course, I'm an adult now. So the guy who really did kill my dad is there, but he's older.
Yes.
And so I see. I don't know. His name was what was his name?
To the generator.
Tiberius Enselclaw.
Yeah, that was his name. So I get so mad when I see him because my vengeance for him is just like even worse than for Atticus who runs it, because I'm just so mad at him. So I tell the Friar that we need to go kill him. Like I need to find a weapon. I'm like, Friar, do you have any weapons with you?
Well, so just to help you out a
Can I
little
kill
bit.
him?
Yeah, absolutely. So so at this point, right, the rowboat is like going to the center ring. And we'll say that Tiberius isn't a fighter anymore. He's like the corner man for one of the fighters.
Okay.
So so Tiberius has his back turned to you.
Okay.
And Anselm does have a knife attached to him. So there is nothing stopping you from grabbing the knife from Anselm, jumping onto the thing, and literally just shanking this guy.
And he's in the boat with us. He's in the boat with me and the Friar.
Anselm is in the boat with you.
Yes, and he has the weapon because Friar doesn't. Okay, yes, because
Right.
that's what I want to do.
Friar's pulling Franciscan Batman right now and is just looking fat, jacked, and masked. So
and he's ready to do the fight. All right. And so in this Tiberian is the guy who killed my dad, right? That's what.
yes, yep.
And I
Tiberius.
see him. His back is to me. Okay, so yes, that's what I have to do. I want to kill the guy because my vengeance is so high, right?
That's so good. All right, yeah, I'm gonna
So I
say
want-
make a facet roll to steal Anselm's knife, but you must use vengeance or loss. You must use one of those two facets.
I think I have to use vengeance, right? Because
I would agree. I think thematically it makes the most sense. But
yeah, because
Yeah.
Use that vengeance.
use the vengeance. Do it.
Using the vengeance.
Use the vengeance.
And I'm grabbing the guy's knife, and Friar is like freaking out because he doesn't want.
Friar
me to-
doesn't even know this is him.
Yeah, I
Friar
have
is
no
Friar's
idea
in
what's
the boat.
going on.
Right, and then I am gonna
Very
just, like,
focused, right?
Yeah, he's waiting to get a fight. He's nervous about having to pretend
Yeah.
to fight.
Okay,
like,
so
we're
roll
gonna-
that 6-sided dice and then tell me what you get. Then add the 6 to whatever the result is.
Okay, I got a 6.
Wow.
6. So that's a 12. So it's whatever
Oh,
you
this is
rolled
on-
plus the facet.
Oh, so I put a 12 here on
Yeah.
vengeance.
So you have a 12 for that roll. literally without even blinking or breaking us. Do you want to describe how you stab the crap out of Tiberius? Because he's dead. Like 12, I'm going to say you shank him like badly.
you completely obliterate him.
You obliterate
He
this dude.
He
You
dead.
snatch this man's soul. Like,
Yes, well, from behind, right? I have the guy. I grab the knife. I jump over, like jump onto there. I get him in the back, and I just stab him over and over and over, and I scream, "For my father! For my father! For my father!"
Like shaking him to death.
Keep on just hitting him and hitting him and hitting him, and then I don't know. Does someone have to stop me? Does Fryer have to stop me?
So I'm gonna describe what happens because this is amazing. This is such good role playing because it's exactly what your character would do, right?
Right, well,
it's
I
not
have such a high vengeance. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm so mad when I see that guy, and I haven't seen him since I was a kid.
It's not strategically the smartest thing to do, but it is the best thing to do in character, right? Which is amazing because this is the stuff I live for as a game master because that's perfect. Dunstan, before you can even react, you watch as Gwendolyn snatches Anselm's knife, literally rips his belt off of his body with just what I'm assuming is the most adrenaline, and then just goes, "For my father, for my father," and then stabs Tiberius over and over and over and over again. Before literally just dropping this man's body into the floating water of the cistern. Gwendolyn, the entire arena is now in utter freaking chaos. Because it's just a hot mess now.
I just see her like splattered with blood, just like heaving.
I'm tired, I'm like freaking out.
Gwendolyn, so Tiberius's fighter, the one that he was like coaching as this guy beat another dude to death, like there's another body floating in the pool. The fighter is like, "I'm not messing with this lady," and goes running towards the other end of the cage, climbs over the cage, down, jumps into the water. There are nobles everywhere who are enjoying this prize fight for sport, whose guards are all grabbing their weapons. Some of them are turning on each other because they're like, "Oh, this is it. This is the time to use the confusion to like try to kill other people that we don't like." Anselm 100% recognizes you. He realizes exactly who you are. And then Gwendolyn, just for you two, for the moment, you realize, you look up at the Archbishop of Canterbury, whose guards are all freaking out, and he's a little more clean shaven now than he was then. The robes are hiding sort of his big, massive frame, but you look at the Archbishop of Canterbury, and even from a distance, you're like, "Oh, that's Abacus. That's the guy." He might have been cleaned up a little bit, but you are just as sure as Tiberius has definitely been stabbed. You are sure that is the guy that murdered you, that runs this place.
Interesting.
That is a really good little twist I had not thought of.
And so, is there anything else you want to do with this scene? Because this is a perfect segue, but it's up to you.
Give me some ideas. I guess I don't know.
So I almost want to end it. I almost want to end it here because that's perfect. And it sets us up perfectly for Act 2.
Climactic, yeah.
It also feels like a natural end to an Act 1.
Yes, it does. I think we ended there. So, Kay, I'm going to have you drop a facet. I'm going to have you drop Vengeance by 2 points. Because you literally had to jump out of a boat into the water to get to this guy.
Yeah, but you got your vengeance.
You did.
Yeah, I got my
and then I'm going to have you
Succeeded.
drop another facet of your choice by 1. Which is awesome. So 2 points in vengeance and then another facet loss of 1. Fryer, you are it's still raining in here. So I'm going to roll that you're going to drop a facet by 2. Because you are literally exposed to the water almost everywhere. And you're like basically shirtless, clothless, not wearing anything in the middle of this.
He has a sash across his face.
Okay.
That's right. I do have a sash across my face.
Your
quite
eyes do
attractive.
not lose any of their facets. Your
It's
eyes
very
are
manly through here.
very.
I am only a Franciscan monk on this part of my body. The rest of me does not know. But
The eyes are for
my
Christ.
eyes, they're for Christ.
The eyes are for Christ. All right, I'm going to pause here for just a second, and then I'll explain what Act 2 is going to entail, because Gwendolyn gets to kick off Act 2, which I am very excited for. But
Okay.
so in what is just a perfect segue of all time, but literally that could not have gone any better if we'd tried. So in Act 2 is what we refer to as the complication. The complication is an event that happens in game that you, the players, could not prepare for. That obviously complicates everything. So at this point, at least 50% of you, 50% of the characters know who's the crime lord, or at least think you guys know who the crime lord is, and 50% of us know what they're after, or what they're really kind of trying to do. But something happens that does not go well and doesn't exactly pan out the way you intended. Usually, this is something that I, as the game master, have to decide. Right? It could be something like, all of the big bad guys, goons, show up all at the same time. In this instance, however, it is literally just that one of you went off the rails and decided to murder someone in the middle of a heavily guarded illegal prize fight in a cistern of London, being overseen by a church official. So that literally could not have come up with a better complication if I tried. So this causes absolute tumult, pandemonium, chaos. Insert holy what is going on word here. Is what just occurred in the cistern brawl. So Act 2 is the shortest of our acts. It is often referred to as the montage act. You don't have to set a scene. It is just, you are going to describe in a few short sentences what your character does. Your character must expose themselves to the rain or to rainwater in some way, shape, or form. And sometimes it gives me a roll. If it's within the bounds, you just get to succeed. But it's, what is your character going to do next? And we go in reverse turn order. So it'll be Gwendolyn first, then Corliss, then Dunstan, then Roland. And that is, I think, my favorite thing about this is I can't wait to see what happens. So Gwendolyn, we're gonna start with you. There's a moment of, I'm assuming, euphoria as you realize that you've just dropped this guy, and then a crushing moment of realization to realize that this entire floating coliseum has erupted into violence and chaos. Anselm is still on the boat. He's not looking like he's making a beeline for Father Dunstan with another convenient knife that he has. There are guards everywhere. It is clear that Abacus is being led back through the balcony to parts unknown. So what would you like to do? What does Gwendolyn do in this situation?
I have to get out, and I have to get Friar out with me somehow in the chaos. We have to somehow escape or try to escape. So I think I have to somehow connect back with Friar. So Friar is still on the boat.
Yes.
We need to get the what was the other guy's name? Anselm?
Yes, Anselm.
Is Ansel the one that I took the knife off of? Yeah.
Yep.
So I need to get him somehow out of the boat and get Friar and I in the boat and escape.
I'm not going to say that you have a problem-solving knife, but
so I do still have the knife.
Yeah.
So yes, maybe what I can do is, since I'm out of the boat because I just murdered the guy, I'm going to throw my knife to Friar so he can fight against Ansel in the boat and take over the boat and rescue me. And I'm in the boat now. So Friar and I are in the boat.
All right, so I'm gonna say that you have to roll. I'm gonna say you're gonna have to roll to toss that knife to Friar.
Ooh. What do I need to get?
So there's a lovely handy dandy chart in here that tells us what the difficulty of certain rolls is.
Okay.
But given that things are a little difficult for you right now, and that your hands are coated in blood and rainwater, I'm gonna say this is a pretty difficult roll.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be tough to get Friar out there with me. All right, my roll. Ooh, it's a 1.
Okay, on a 5 to 1, the action fails horribly.
Yeah.
What facet did you use first and foremost to help you out?
Let's see. Gosh, I don't know. The vengeance is gone. I mean, vengeance is the killing of him.
Look, this could still be. I mean, you're still
you're-
in the vengeance
I guess
related task.
vengeance or yeah, I guess the vengeance and loss are related. So I guess it would have to be the.
It's up to you. Vengeance or loss. The higher, the better, generally. So
Okay, so yeah, so I guess
not to metagame this for you, but
yeah. I guess I have to use vengeance. Yeah, and I guess I still am on that. Like, oh my god, I was still trying to.
A 5. So your action fails horribly. You go to toss him the knife. Not only does the knife not make it to the fryer, not only does it overshoot him entirely and fall into the water, you fall into the water, tripping and falling off the platform.
Oh no.
It basically not drowning necessarily, but like because you can hold on, but you're not having a great time of it. So
I could use the dead body to float though. Can I use the dead body?
You could absolutely. That is the most thematic. Yes, you could absolutely use Tiberius's dead body
That's
to
what
float.
I'm gonna do. I threw the knife, I missed. I grab on Tiberius and I'm trying to float away, and I don't know what I'm yelling to the fryer.
Oh God, F. Thoughts Fitzgerald's doing windmills in his grave right now. He's like, why didn't I think of that? Use the corpse of the target for vengeance to help save her. You have 3 points of facets to lose. I will let you divide them up however you would like.
My vengeance has gone down quite a bit now that I killed the guy.
Yeah. You could drop it to a 1. You could get rid of the cat. It's up to you. You have 3 points of facets to lose how you would like. Corliss, just to illustrate what's happening to us, the bartender has stomped on the floor at this point, and then like not like maybe 5 minutes after, the bottom of, we hear the sound of just chaos and violence erupting from beneath there. The bartender is jumping out of the way. He is like running out of the building without a single care in the world. So what would you like to do?
Well, I think the most logical thing to do is to go through the entryway behind the bar.
All right. So you do that. You're flying down. I'm just gonna say Roland can come with you if you're cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The two of us arrive. We find a dock with a couple of these like little dinghies. Manage to row ourselves in, literally just in time to watch Gwendolyn tip off of the platform while chucking a knife. So we're also now in the middle of the violence. So what would you like to do?
Okay, well, of course, being the good doctor that I am, I pull out my trusty boot knife.
Boot, scalpel.
And so then are we on the same side of where Dunstan and Ansel are then?
Yep.
So am I seeing the tussle between the two of them first and foremost?
Yes, it's not really a tussle quite yet. Anselm is like stalking over to where is trying to basically making a beeline for the not beeline for the father, but he's kind of falling on top of the friar to like stab him to death because the friar's got both of the oars currently. So, but yes.
Okay. So I am going to try to get from our dinghy over into their boat and essentially stab Ansel to get him off of the friar.
Okay. So you're jumping off of the boat and stabbing. All right, go. All right. I'm going to have you make a roll for it.
Okay.
What facet are you using?
Maybe my cause, because I feel like that would be the most appropriate facet.
I would agree.
All right. Oh, sweet. Okay, so that's an 8.
Yep, an 8 works. You step onto the boat. It rocks back a little bit, so like part of your leg kind of dips into the water itself. But you do manage to stab Anselm in the shoulder.
Okay, perfect.
So he is now wrestling with you. His knife arm is wide. Father Dunstan, what are you doing?
Father Dunstan, after she stabs Anselm, I'm gonna just give him a little shove, and then the friar's going take a big swig of my my Theriac first, finish the bottle, kill it, and then I'm diving headfirst into the water and trying to go to where the Archbishop of Canterbury was headed or last seen.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make a roll for that because you're swimming across this like brackish, disease-filled water.
Yay. That is a 4 plus. What is my thing? That's a
What?
seven
Alright.
total.
7 is enough.
Yeah.
7 gets you to I guess like not like the wall sort of. So the archbishop has puppy. So the archbishop has left, but it's pretty clear that you can probably manage to shimmy your way up the wall from there. I'm gonna have you lose about 4 points of facets. You may divide those however you'd like.
Okie doke. And then lastly, I would just like to, through all the chaos, try and like wave to you guys to let you know where I am.
Yep. Roland is gonna, so in that motion, Anselm is, despite being stabbed, still behind you. Like he kind of comes up from the water with that intent. Roland is going to try to row the boat over. It's not a carriage, but it's kind of like a water carriage. I'm gonna use profession carriage driver. Thank God for decent rolls for once. That is a 9. I'm able to sort of get there and basically just crack Anselm in the back of the head with an oar to finish him off. And then so we're all basically just kind of at the base of this whatchamacallit wall, cavern face. Basically, we can shimmy our way up to the balcony that the archbishop was at, and they let him back from. At this point, the rest of the chaos has kind of made it so that it's impossible for anyone to really, like, they could go after us, but it does not behoove them to do so. I do have to lose 3 points of the facet as well. Goodbye, Sandy. My beautiful horse is now at a 0. And I will lose a profession of carriage driver.
Am I losing any facets?
You are going to have to lose 3 of a facet as well.
Oof.
3 points, divide them however you'd like.
Okay.
And then just so I can get a facet check, what is everyone's facets at? Oh, Colin, you already updated yours, so thank you for that.
I'll update mine.
So my profession carriage driver is a 3. My trusted companion Sandy, who is that? Because that's a 0. I still have a traumatic past of a 6.
So I don't know if I was supposed to do it or not. I had added 6 to my score for vengeance. Was that what I was supposed to do?
No, that was just for the roll. So your vengeance should be at a 3.
And it should be, yeah. Oh yeah. Because I added.
And I don't know about what I don't remember what Rue was at.
I did change that one. I changed all of them. The only thing I think I did wrong was the vengeance. I think I had added, actually I think I added 6. So I think that should be is that down to a 1 then?
Yeah, I think that is a 1. Yep.
Yeah. And then
So
I had done the other one. So my loss is still a 6.
Completed your glorious vengeance arc.
Yes, my vengeance is done. My loss is still a 6. My charge with my cat is still a 2. That's where I took off my other points. And then the vengeance is a 1.
And the vengeance is a 1. Which makes sense. You've kind of completed that arc of your story. You're like, hey, thanks, random corpse floating here. I don't know who you are, dude. Thanks.
Yes, now I'm using him to float. I mean, what better way to like get my revenge? Wow.
What a great symbolism. We've moved on enough that the vengeance, the thing that was keeping us afloat mentally, is now the thing that keeps us afloat physically.
Right. Nice.
Eat your shoes, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and your stupid symbolism. All right. So the way that this works this is the 3rd and final act of the game. So at this point, it goes in reverse turn order again. So the 4 of us have been reunited at the base of this cliff face. We are ready to go after Abacus / the Archbishop. But Gwendolyn, you get to set our first scene. So it could be with all of us. It could be with some of us.
And we're all together at the end of the last act.
Yep,
we were all together in your little boat carriage, whatever thing, going to the edge. I guess we should all stay together then?
Yeah.
Is that reasonable? I mean, we are kind of all there together. And we don't know where Abacus went. Is that right? We saw him go off this way.
Yep. So we are at the base of a cliff wall. And then probably about like 10 feet up is that balcony that he was on. And then they led him back. So it looks like the balcony has some sort of, not passage, but some sort of, I guess, like way out from wherever he was stationed at. So
we got to figure out somehow how to get up there.
Yeah. I mean, we can climb. You can try to look for some way, other way to get up there. We can go back to the bar. It's up to you. You get to set this scene.
Well, I guess we have to go after him because we know, well, I don't know, because do we know yet that we don't know yet that he's a serial killer though, right? I just know that he was my vengeance is still against him, kind of, but not really, because my vengeance was against the guy that killed me. So we
Well,
don't
you
know yet.
still know that he is responsible for the loss of your dad.
I do know that, yes,
Yep.
but we don't know that he's a serial killer yet. We don't know if he has anything else. Okay, then I guess we do need to go back to the bar to figure that out, because I don't know why else we would be. We're not really going after him, and the rest of you don't need to go after him yet, right? So we need to go back and get more information somehow.
I mean, it makes sense to go after him, I think, because I don't know anyone who would be running this kind of an event that's at least doesn't know something.
No, that's true. That's true. And we probably saw the stuff on the way out. All right, let's go after him. Let's go after him. What do we do to go after him? I guess we start climbing up that wall. If we can, to get to the same balcony where the hole is, we're going to try to go chase him. And we don't see anybody out there that's going to stop us. We still got a couple knives.
The rest of the nobles and prize fighters and criminals everyone is just, it's a big old battle royale. So like they're fighting each other more than they're fighting us at this point.
Yeah, we don't need to fight us. Okay, so we have to climb up. We have to get up to that balcony somehow. Friar, you don't have any clothes on, so you're gonna.
He still has his clothes with him though.
Oh, so we could use him to tie and like climb up. We could use his clothes to tie him.
Absolutely.
All right, Friar, I'm sorry, I got to do it to you. We're gonna have to start using your clothes to like help us climb up to the top of this balcony.
Oh, that's all right. I don't much need them. I don't know why you keep calling me that actually, but all
Calling
right,
you what?
Friar.
Oh, are you not a friar anymore?
You are a friar. You've been a friar your whole life.
Oh, he
Father
might be
Dunstan.
confused, guys.
Well, I mean, I
From
was a
the
man of the church for. Well, I was. You can use the clothes.
Thanks, Dunstan.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Dunstan.
yeah. Boy, that rain.
All right, so you're fashioning this rope. So together, all of us managed to get there onto this platform. It does lead there. There's a draft, so it's clear that whatever that little passageway goes up. We're not entirely positive where it goes up to, but we can pursue that.
So we go up to, we got to go up and go to follow him. And nobody is, we don't have to find anybody to get there because we're already up there.
Question for everybody: do we have any more weapons? I have an oar.
Yes.
She has her knife still.
We have
And,
one knife.
I have a knife.
I don't,
One
because I
oar.
threw mine to the friar and it missed.
Do you need it, Roland?
No, I got an oar. Maybe no. You keep the knife. That's all right. I'm gonna break the oar in half and then hand a hunk of it to Dunstan.
I'll hand that hunk to Gwendolyn, and I'll just pull my sash out. Like, I can use this,
Choke somebody. Yeah, you could choke somebody with that.
Just garrote someone.
and just like try and catch weapons and stuff.
So, whatcha?
Ha!
That's true, because all of his men are gonna, all of the advocates' men or guards are gonna have weapons too, right? Wherever he went off to.
Oh yeah,
Just so-
100%.
I just imagine this like, all right, here you go. All right, here you go. Just pass the.
We're passing our weapons around.
Just broken on. No.
So I have a broken oar.
Two broken oars, a knife, and a sash.
Right.
Power moves only, everybody.
Yeah.
So as we're climbing up, is there I was thinking before we were climbing up, were there any stairs or any routes to take to get up there to the balcony, or did we just make it
No,
Okay.
we there is none. So it's
Okay.
clear that that balcony is designed to protect whoever is there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yes, we do manage to make our way up. Again, it is still pouring inside of this arena, but we do manage to get up thanks to the hastily constructed rope that Gwendolyn made us into basically into this chamber. So are we, Gwendolyn? Are you leading the charge?
With my broken oar.
Obviously, with the broken oar. We're not. We have standards.
So, but we have no light, so I don't know. We have to get through somehow. But we hear them, so I guess we maybe hear them down the hall because we can't see them because we don't have any lights with us. But we've
You
got
can
the oar, so we hear
absolutely
them.
use the distant sound of footsteps to try to navigate. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. So I'm doing that. We're trying to get through.
I'm going to have you make a roll for that, just because that is super difficult to do. But I'm going to say that whatever you roll, just add an additional 1 to that, because I think that the strategy of listening for their footsteps is a really smart way to play that. So,
All right. So I got a 6.
and then what facet are you using?
I guess loss.
Sure, loss will work. So that's a 6, and then so you add the 6 to that roll, so that's a 12.
Okay.
And then you add 1 to that roll because you played smart, and I'm giving you a bonus. That's a 13.
Jeez.
which is
Good ears.
Impressive.
great.
So that's good.
So not only are you able to navigate us through, but you're able to navigate us basically without the guards catching wind that we're following them,
Nice.
which I'm
Great.
super okay with. So we find ourselves, you can hear the distant sound of rain pouring on a roof that feels so far ahead. We're in another cavernous, dark space. And it becomes pretty apparent that we are in essentially a cathedral of some kind. So basically you managed to pull us, I guess, behind some pillars or behind an altar, but we are in this dark, cavernous, gothic looking space that's lit only by candles. The guards do not see us.
So we've got to lure him away somehow from his guards. So we're in a cathedral.
Well, we just
So-
battle royale it in the middle of this church.
Yeah.
So we don't know he's the crime boss yet.
No, we don't.
That's right. We don't know that yet.
Um,
Right.
At some point I need to talk to the friar about the drawing and the conversation. So I need to figure out how I'm going to incorporate that.
So
at
just
some
to
point.
just to let everyone know kind of a little bit of a layout. So Gwendolyn manages to pull us behind a section of pillars that's close to what we would refer to as the vestibule of a church, which is the front of the church that has rooms basically located behind the altar, which is where those priests or those monks would prepare themselves to go about their daily work. Those doors look open because it's apparent that the church is closed or that the cathedral has been shuttered for the day. So they weren't expecting another person to be in there. So if you were going to do some investigating, that would be a good place to potentially do it. Gwendolyn, is there anything else that you would like to do for this particular part of your scene?
And I was going to say separate him from the rest, but we don't, like I said, we don't know he's the serial killer yet. So I guess we have to do more investigating.
I mean, you could totally separate him anyway in preparation for something that we do. That is an option that you can do.
Yeah, I'd like to do that somehow, but I guess I'm not sure how. I was thinking we could like make a noise or do something religious, since he is supposed to be still playing this archbishop. He should still be religious. So could we like get some kind of supernatural thing? Like he thinks, I don't know, he's got to do confession or he's got to do something religious. And
So,
in that sense, he intentionally on his own separates himself from
Okay.
because he feels safe. He doesn't know we're there.
Sure. Did you want to
Escape.
maybe make a noise in a certain section of the church? There is a confessional. There's a choir loft.
Yeah, I'm thinking get him in the confessional or some small room that his guards wouldn't be able to get in as easily. If we do get him separated away, then he might not get his help as easily.
Okay, I'm gonna say if you do, so you want to make a noise in the confessional to potentially draw off the guards.
Yes.
Okay,
Draw
I'm
him so that he goes away from his guards. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna have you make one more roll, and then we're gonna send it over to Corliss.
All right. I got a 3.
All right, which facet are you using? I'm assuming it's still loss.
Loss. Mhm.
Okay, that is a 9. It is enough. It doesn't have. So what kind of distraction are you making? Are you like chucking a candle in the confessional? Are you like grabbing a Bible and just yeeting it? Maybe don't yeet the Bible, but yeah, you could. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a sentence I ever thought I'd say as an adult, but here we are.
I think we have to do something a little quieter, like so that it's not so obvious that somebody threw something. So I'm thinking we get like one of the bulletins or something and we slide it maybe along the floor.
Sure, you could
near
find
there, so it's a little quieter and not
a
such an
piece of
obvious-
parchment.
Yes, or parchment. Yes.
Yeah, a piece of a church bullet. There's like it's just like a ye old church bulletin. It's somehow still written in Comic Sans.
Yeah, right. But yeah, because if it's a big thud, then his guards will come with him because they'll think something's wrong. So we just need him to come away.
It isn't enough to draw the archbishop away, but that soft whisper is enough that like so he's got about 4, and they look like knights. They look like big, heavily armed, full armor, full sword, full that kind of thing looking dudes. So it does draw 2 of them away who go to investigate the confessional. And that kind of potentially leaves him exposed. And I'm gonna have you drop a facet by 1.
Okay.
It is your choice. All right, Corliss, what are you doing right now?
Okay, so did she go over like by the confessional by herself?
It's up to, well, that depends. Gwendolyn, did you like throw the parchment, or you were sliding it? How are you over by the confessional? A 9 is good enough that you can say I'm not over there if you don't want to be over there.
I was going to stay with you guys and sort of slide it over, but the 4 of us are still together.
Yep, that
Okay.
works. And a 9 is
Okay.
good enough that works.
All right, perfect. So as far as where we are now, are we fairly concealed from the area?
Yes.
And if we were to talk to one another, would it echo?
It might echo if it's super loud, but you are fairly well concealed, particularly because the knights are moving.
Okay.
And so if the knights are moving, they're making a clattering noise. So it won't be readily apparent that you are there.
Okay, so
So you are free to talk. It doesn't cause a roll or anything. Like
okay,
that.
perfect. Okay, so I was hoping that I could talk to Dunstan and see if Dunstan to see if he's familiar with the drawing. So I want to show him the parchment that I have. Dunstan, do you recognize this drawing? I was told that that this was shown by one of your colleagues, and I'm trying to figure out how it's related to the situation that we're dealing with.
Yeah, I recognise the parchment, but I can't remember where from. I don't know.
Okay.
So Dunstan, you do, in the foggiest recesses of your brain, you're right. You don't know exactly where you saw it or how you saw it, but in your head, you see like a back room, with like shelves full of books, some robes hanging, and that drawing, along with some others, has sort of splayed out along a long table. You're sure it feels like similar to the places that you're at here.
Okay.
Again, you can't place it exactly, but
I relay this information.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to share my theory with Roland and Gwendolyn about us needing to find this information here at the church, as I believe they might be connected, and that if we can find the information, then maybe we can find who it's connected to.
I mean, Dunstan,
Hmm?
Dunstan, you said it was you said it was a similar place. Could it be possible that those are in one of the back rooms or somewhere here?
Yeah, it looks similar, I think, in the architecture, so I don't see why not.
All right. Let's take a look then, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go check this out and see if it helps relate to some of the shadiness that we've been seeing around the town.
All right. So Corliss, are you bringing all of us? Are we all going back to one of the chambers?
Yes, if we can do it sort of stealthy and creep around the edges without being noticed.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay here and watch, and just to make sure that those guys don't come back and grab you.
Okay, thanks, Roland. Maybe we need to do some kind of code or sound. That way, if they're coming closer to us, you can call like a bird.
I can yell really loud. I can just yell help really loud. Yeah, I'll do that.
Sounds like a crow. I go
Great.
That's great. Okay. So Corliss, are you bringing the other two then? You're bringing Gwendolyn and Dunstan?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
how am I not going to do this without Dunstan and his power sash?
That's true. And you have to have the power set.
Power sash.
Infinite
so
power
we're-
in the power set.
So we're going to creep along the edge of the vestibule and try to get to any of the open rooms. Is there a way for us to sneakily do that?
Yep, absolutely. The only thing that's kind of keeping the closest back room is a little strand of thread, like a rope. And this was pretty common. They would like rope the doors shut. But there's enough of a crevice that you could just slide that knife and just. Boop. Yep. All right, you do so. You find yourself in a quiet study. there's not like a ton of, there's no lights as of right now, but there is like one lit candle sort of like along the edge of the door if you want to bring that with you.
Absolutely. I'm going to grab the candle.
Dunstan, as she grabs the candle and there's a little bit of illumination, you're struck with the feeling that this place is so familiar to you. Like you can't really place exactly where, how, or why, but man, it feels so familiar to you. And you're not entirely positive why, but you're drawn to these like, I guess, man, like these tables, these long tables that look like a scribe would use them to sort of like color in like manuscripts or something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, I will go over to those and investigate, see if there's anything to check.
Dunstan, as you move over there, you're struck with this feeling of like really intense melancholy, as if like this is a place that you had known a little bit. There is a huge stack of papers, and some of them even bear a signature of Dunstan on them, which feels really weird to you. You're like, wow, that's not a name I didn't think anyone else had. And among them are some sketches of the device that Corliss described to you, but done just weird. Like the device that Corliss had showed you looked smaller, a little less intimidating. These are like really kind of savage looking, as if someone has tweaked the purpose. So
I'll just call out, Corliss, I think this might be of interest, and then I'll just like start walking away from it like I don't care. Start looking through like the papers that have my name on them, and just trying to feel whatever feeling that is.
Corliss, you're again, this is super intriguing to you, but as you look through these blueprints, there's no way that the purpose of this device, while similar to the one that Monsieur Sawbones showed you, I'm sorry, Saban showed you, this is not intended for medicine. This is intended for war of some kind.
Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely doing a comparison here. I can definitely tell that they're related. And that I would be very intrigued to figure out who has manipulated the device into more of a weapon of war. Are there any indicators to me of who the artist is, or is there any information to tie this to any of the people?
I mean, there's no like actual like artist's credit, but you know for a fact that the people that are able to sketch this and write this stuff out are not like common folk. These are people who would have to have those skills. Also, along with them is another letter, which does implicate a few people, but also calls for the ordering of several hundred of these devices.
Oh, that's very concerning to me. Yeah. Ordering of several hundred of these devices. Okay. Well, obviously that's throwing red flags for me. And of course, the person that would have the funds to do so would be someone of wealthy stature. So that leads to more of my concerns, especially since the Vatican and potentially royal court are involved in some capacity. So I'm very intrigued by this person that Dunstan has interacted with, but not certain how I can make that leap to potentially being the person there at the church.
Are you going to call Dunstan over?
Yeah, can do that. Dunstan, and I kind of spiel the rest of the information to him about my concerns and see if he's able to help with anything.
Do I know what is that information that I would be privy to, I guess?
There, in order for somebody to make that, even with your limited knowledge of how the church works anymore, right? Because your facet dropped to a 2, am I correct?
Yeah.
For Friar.
Yeah.
You know enough to know that if there is somebody that's going to do it, it would have to be an archbishop. Okay. It would have to be an archbishop, or it would have to be someone within the Vatican themselves.
Okay.
But at this point, given everything that you've seen, it's kind of hard to look past the smoking gun or smoking syringe gun.
Sure.
In
This is like the hard proof.
Yeah, this is everything that you need, even in your like rain-addled state, to know that this person who maybe you still remember, because he would have been the one that probably brought you into the church. He would have been the one that probably helped run your order. But it would be next to impossible for anyone else to make that kind of call.
Okay.
So
cool. I will also relay that information.
All right. Excellent. And I'm going to have Corliss, I'm going to have you drop a facet by 1.
By 1. Okay.
Yep, facet by 1. All right.
Got it.
And then Dunstan.
So do we know, have we seen where the Archbishop is yet or no?
He is somewhere not somewhere. He is in the center of the church. Like his guards are kind of like in a circle around him. He's in the center of the church.
Okay. I would like to.
So first, who would you like to have your scene with?
I think everybody that's there, or everybody here. Because I think what I'd like to do, and you guys tell me if you vibe with this, is I would like to have Dunstan like strip down to basically nothing, and then soak himself in rainwater and give Gwendolyn a big old hug so he gets all her dried blood on him, and then put like a crown or something on my head, and then opium, if you do enough of it, it curdles your blood, basically. It's hard to bleed. And then I'd like to stab myself and then walk out there and like try and tell this dude that I'm like a vision, that he's done wrong and sinned and he needs to like atone, and like we have angels here that will take him to ascension, essentially, if he will only follow me.
So get him to confess?
That's
to get him
intense.
to confess, and then to have him like walk to us without guards so that you guys can just clobber him.
This is.
I got my four.
Are we?
That is so good. I love the dried blood idea. Get the dried blood from me. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, get him to confess.
This is not something I've never tried to fake a miracle in one of my games, but all right, let's do it.
I love this.
What's
left?
Yes, instead of
I'm sad. That's a yes from me, dog. That's.
I want to try it. Let's try it.
All right, I tell you guys all the plan. I get prepped, and then I just walk out to where the Archbishop supposedly is.
All right, I'm gonna have you make a roll because you're literally just. I mean, this is a lot.
It's a good one though, you know. Hopefully, it's not gonna work, but it's.
If you get a good enough roll, come on.
You know, my stats are real bad though. I'll use my profession as a pride. That's a 7. I got a 5 on the die.
A 7 is technically a success. But yeah, it does say that I'm gonna. Oh man, it is successful, but the rain is still gonna take something. And by the rain, since we're in this cathedral, I'm gonna say that you have injured yourself pretty critically in the process. You're committing to the bit.
Yeah, you gotta commit.
Right?
You did stab yourself in the side.
Yeah.
But
we do have a doctor with.
That's right. I mean, I can help you. It might be really crooked stitches at this point, but I'll definitely help you.
But we have a doctor. Yeah.
So, we do have a doctor. And we have a carriage driver too.
Right.
You're not so important anymore. It's that doctor we need. But sorry,
listen, I got us here.
Rowan.
I rode the boat. I'm sorry.
You did your part.
Listen, I am the Appa of this group, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, Colin, Dunstan, I guess, like, just strides out into the center, his wounds illuminated by the candlelight. A 7 is not enough to get the bishop to come to you directly, but my God, do like 3 of his 5 knights or 2 of his 4 knights, however many, there are only 2 knights left. The rest of them are bolting. Some of them might recognize you as the friar. All of them recognize you as something that they don't want to go toe to toe with right now at this
Yeah.
instance. They're not interested. 0% chance of being interested in this. They have seen enough. Today has been a wild ride for them. And they, full armor or not, clatter away. And the Archbishop kind of looks at you and he just goes, Dunstan.
I
Dunstan.
am not Dunstan. I am what you believe to be Dunstan. Do you remember? Do you remember when you first started with the faith? I can't.
Oh, poor boy. At which point the Archbishop fishes this device out, and it's 3 of those syringes like mounted to his wrist in what looks like a crossbow.
Oh, interesting.
I remember exactly what the faith is, Dunstan. And why wouldn't we just bring the wrath of God to the non-believers? What is disease if not for an instrument of God? And who should use the instruments of God but the clergy? Observe. And he fires one of the syringes at you.
As he like goes to do that, could I possibly like make a mad dash at him and
Absolutely.
try and get the sash?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
I want to get the
100%.
sash like around his like
Yes.
wrist so that if you guys come in, he can't.
Yep,
like, hit you
100%.
with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
It was
gonna have
up to
you.
him to confess though, right? He hasn't confessed yet, right?
Well, we have the proof in the other stuff. The confession stuff was more just for like the trying to get him to come to the realization that he had sinned and needed
Right.
to atone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it definitely scared off 90% of his bodyguards.
Yeah.
As far as like jury rigged miracles go.
Yeah, that was pretty
Could be
good.
worse. Yeah.
You managed to scare off 2 fully grown knights and rattle the other 2. So
The opium helps.
And I'll come back to that.
That's all good miracles stem from opium. That's what they say.
the opium.
That's the old saying, yes.
As the old saying goes.
Everyone remembers that old Sunday school chestnut.
No miracle without opium. Just like Pops used to say.
Oh, ridiculous.
There's
So
a
the
lot-
power sash is wrapped around his
Yep, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna give that to you.
Fire
Okay, and I
wedge
say
shooting.
that's probably good for my scene.
Yep. I will say, however, that a second bolt does so the first one lodges into your chest,
Yeah.
and the other one breaks one of the stained glass windows, letting in just a lovely amount of rainwater. So everyone's gonna lose a facet, which is just super fun.
Beautiful.
And I get the last scene of our time of our play of our I almost called it a play. I guess it is kind of a play, but of our game. God bless Roland, but the second all of this starts, he just starts going caw caw oh for blood out for God's sake. And I'm making a beeline over to where Dunstan is, and I'm just like wielding this club like with as much fury as my peasant arms can muster. There are 2 knights, we gotta get him, let's go. I'm going clubbing, as the kids these days say.
Half an oar, right? Is that what you still
Half
have?
an oar.
Yeah.
Just gonna try to clip this knight with the business end of an oar. Dunstan, so I'm just gonna do that roll real quick. That's a 10. Eat shit, knight.
He's going down. The heavy oar.
At this point, I'm gonna involve everybody in the scene too. So Corliss, Gwendolyn, you guys are back out of the room. What are you guys doing?
Sweet. Oh, sweet. Well, I am. I'm also going to be attacking the Archbishop. Trying to disengage the device around his arm while also stabbing him, like cutting his tendons. And I want him to be able to still talk to me. So I don't want to completely kill him yet. So I would like to get him disengaged and somehow.
And I guess I'm trying to use my aura to maybe trip up the guards, or somehow try to trip them up so they can't come and help the Archbishop.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna say Corliss, you are attempting to help Dunstan.
Yes.
Very, very cool. I'm gonna have you do a roll. I'm assuming you're just trying to like stab the Archbishop in a way that like
Yeah, like
stops
just
him.
just like
Yep.
maybe I know some super secret doctor move that's going to like cause him to bleed out slowly and be very painful.
Yeah.
Walking death touch.
Yes, that's right. No, that is not going to happen. That is a whopping 4.
Yeah, that a 4 is not good enough. You do you wind up cutting yourself more than you do,
Oh
more than you do the Archbishop.
This checks out.
Yeah, before wincing a little bit in pain, basically. All right, and you are attempting to club the other knight. Gwendolyn, right? You are
Yeah.
also all right.
I'm trying to take out the other knights, yeah, so they can't get to the Archbishop. Yeah. Do I need to roll?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Oh, I got a 2. I do have do I get to use I still have a 6 on my loss.
You
Can I-
do.
Oh yeah, do
Yeah,
that.
you
Use that.
absolutely do. That's an 8. That's just more than enough to get that knight off balance.
Okay, I've at least got a knight out of it.
And then Roland's going to go ahead and take another crack at him. And together we managed to, but we don't kill the second knight, but we do manage to pummel him to the ground a little bit. Which leaves Dunstan. You can feel the necrosis from that dart, like literally just seeping into your skin.
Oh.
And the Archbishop is like, he's got like one hand around your throat. He's trying to like get you. Just what are you doing?
I would like to. Everyone missed the Archbishop, huh?
Yeah,
Sorry, bro.
we have.
Sorry.
We're gonna leave it to you, buddy. You're our opium Jesus. You got this.
Big bummer. I think Dunstan is probably losing consciousness at the moment, but maybe with like his last struggles, I think he would like to try and get like the place where he was shot with the necrosis. I'd like to try and like get that area of my body like up to where his head is to potentially like suffocate him with my giant gut. And also if I don't suffocate him, then maybe he'll just be freaking out because of the necrosis.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
that you absolutely can do that. Yeah,
So
give
I'll
me a
just
roll.
try and like just smother him with weight because can't hold my body up anyways.
Yeah. It's like dead weight.
Yeah, but it is dead weight. Oh wow, yeah, that's a 6 plus. What is my thing? I only have 1 left, so a 7.
A 7 is still good enough for a success. So it's not the weight that gets the bishop. It is the necrosis, which starts to seep in through his mouth, basically, and infect the rest of his face.
Through my blood, my opium
Congealed
blood.
Oh, what a
It's true because you stabbed yourself, so you got blood gushing out.
This has become one of the most weirdly religious overtone versions of this game that I've ever, which I'm kind of here for a little bit. The bishop is like gargling and like trying to slap you off. It can't. The sash has the syringe thing. He's like keeps trying to drag the syringe gauntlet up to you enough to stab you, and doesn't manage to get it off. You do start to lose consciousness, but as you kind of roll off to the side of him, you kind of turn over, and it is clear to see that the bishop is in the throes of death himself. And again, you look at his face, and it's just riddled with that infection.
I think Dunstan just like kind of looks over at him and just smiles a little bit, and then takes a little nap.
Takes a little nap, and then I'm gonna end my scene there with us having vanquished essentially a bioweapon manufacturing evil archbishop. Now comes my actual favorite part of this game, which is our ending montage. So based on we all, much like Act 2, this is not setting a scene. This is you on your own, and you get to decide what happens to your character, quite literally after the rain, based on what you've got left on your facets. And it generally, again, tends to go in not reverse order, but it'll go in the same original order. So it would start with me, it would go to Dunstan, it would go to Corliss, and then Gwendolyn gets to wrap up our entire game, which is super fun. So just as a sidebar, everyone please lose another facet at the end of that scene. We
I only have one.
That's rough.
I don't think I've ever lost everything.
I don't think I've had anyone lose everything by the end, but you did lose everything, your life and everything that you were, which is kind of fitting for like a big cathartic sacrifice.
Yeah.
You did basically kind of kill yourself a little bit. Like
Yeah.
But you
killing yourself. So
but you killed yourself to save others, which
save everybody else. Yeah.
Which
and you brought him down by
if you're gonna vanquish a corrupt church official is again kind of thematically appropriate.
I agreed.
I like that it's also like with the religious overtones. It's like, yes, there was a bad guy in the church, but he was killed by a good guy in the church. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
I literally wanted you to be like the blood of Christ and just smother him.
I didn't know how religiously I could get with it. So I was like, I don't know.
Again, from a thematic place, it fits. Good does vanquish evil, so it winds up being
right.
good.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh man, this is probably the most thematically charged game of this I've ever played.
It's super cool.
So my profession is at a 1. My trusted companion for Sandy, my horse, is at a 0. In the days and the months following, not the assassination of the archbishop, but the death of the corrupt bishop, as the church tries to put a spin on it to stop him from, destroying their reputation forever. Old Roland decides that it is time to move on, not from the city, not from his but from his profession, essentially. So he's still really, really riddled with that traumatic past and the loss of those people. Because of obviously the bishop was trying to sabotage basically everything and everybody to make it clear that he could just, do whatever he wanted. But Roland is inspired by the sacrifice of his good friend Dunstan, and still feeling like he owes that fallen family a bit of a debt, dedicates the rest of his life in service to others, and also becomes a friar of a different order, and so spends the remainder of his days as Friar Roland, attempting to help basically the lowest of the low and the sickest of the sick, and that's going to be where he finds himself after the rain. All right, what happens to Dunstan? Tell us about Dunstan's final moments.
I think Dunstan, sees the archbishop dying next to him, smiles, closes his eyes, and then he wakes up again. But he's not in the cavern. He's in like a nice, cottage bed, and there's the smell of fresh eggs. And he gets up and walks out and gives his wife Mabel a kiss on the cheek, and then goes out to his peacock farm, pets his favorite peacock, Larry. And then, he goes in and hangs out with his kids. He lives a nice normal life as a quiet peacock farmer in heaven.
That's nice.
Dunstan.
So nice.
All right, Corliss.
Oh, well, my profession is down to a 2. So I'm on the same path as Sabons at this point, going a little crazy. The rest of my facets are at 0. What I do know is that I'm still very much intrigued by this poison that was essentially trying to be mass produced. And since I'm at a 2, I'm not really a doctor anymore. I'm more like a laboratory specialist. So I'm going to be spending my time being crazy and maybe partaking in some opium as well, occasionally, while I'm trying to figure out and solve the mystery of the disease that was being spread. And so I'm just kind of like crazy haired and just muttering to myself all the time and trying to solve.
Are you Madame Sawbones?
Yes, now I'm Madame Sawbones. It's just, they got to figure this out. Stupid archbishop.
I love that you brought that around full circle.
All right, and then last but certainly not least, Gwendolyn.
All right, so my loss is still at a 6. I never took anything off that one. My charge is a 0 and my vengeance is a 0. So I'm going to go with, so I witness Friar Dunstan dying, when he dies there in the church. And then, but my loss is still so great for my dad that I turned to the new Friar Roland for assistance to get over my grief of my dad, because I'm still so upset. But now I try to turn to Friar Dunstan, but he's died. So I turn to Roland, and Roland helps me get over the grief of my dad and live on with that grief and move forward in my life.
And that is a beautiful place to end after the rain. Thank you all so much for joining me for this game. This was fantastic. If you are all watching this and you would like to pick up a copy, it is available digitally. If you are not one of the 4 people who are a part of this game, it's available digitally. If you're one of the 4 people in this game, thank you guys this was awesome. This was so much fun. So thank you so much for that.
Go buy the game.
All right. Thank you all so much. And thank you. Yeah, display. That's okay. Yeah, you've got yours digitally, and also you've got like 6 copies of it at this point. But as again, seriously, guys, thank you so much for playing this. This was an absolute pleasure to play with the 3 of you. So that was.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a great time.
Thanks,
Always
okay.
a ridiculous time whenever I hang out with you all.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
All right.